Drop dimes, hit routes, so yeah, we on the move. From the paint to the pocket, got nothing to prove. Precision in the pass, rhythm in the run. Every play, every day, till the work is done. Yeah. Step on the field, I'm reading the D. Eyes wide open, ain't fooling me. Pump fake, sidestep. I'm breaking the press from baseline to sideline. I'm bringing my best. Snap back, quick glance. I'm calling the play. Hoop dreams and touchdowns. I'm making my way. No look behind the back. Fred in the scene. Every angle, every shout. I'm chasing a dream. Drop times, hit routes in the deep, no doubt. From the field to the hardwood. Hear the crowd shout. Pass the dish it through traffic. We find.
What is up, everybody? Appreciate you for tuning in to Passion and Precision. Glad you could make it through. We are ready for another packed episode. We are down key tonight, but we still got to have a great show for you. Obviously, before we get into all that, we have Jory here with us.
And I'm tired of this fuck-ass internet.
I mean, look. Okay, so I guess to let you all in, we did have some technical difficulties, but we've got it fixed. We're good to go. And yes, Jory is tired of the internet, but we got it figured out. But other than that, Jory, how are you doing tonight?
Do we really need to go about how my day went? So I got up at 8. My dog got loose, so I had to chase his big ass down the street. And then my other one, the one that y'all see, she's in heat. And she don't like wearing her Pampers. So I had to chase her this morning. But all in all week, I found things with sports that either entertained me or ticked me off. So, and I got a new microphone. That's why you can't see me.
Yes.
But I'm excited to talk some sports. It's been an eventful week.
Mm-hmm. All right. Let's see. All right. Just sharing it out. But yeah, look, it's a new era of Passion and Precision. Jory's got a new mic. Can't tell her nothing.
Absolutely.
Can't slow her down. So we're definitely gonna have a lot of fun with this. And obviously, everything we talk about, want to hear from you in the chat for sure. So make sure you come through, bring the energy. Let us know where you're, watching from. We're going to talk NFL playoffs. Let us know your team. Rep your team in the chat. And, we got you. But we are going to start. Actually, should have had this up here. There we go. This is what we're talking about tonight. Got the coaching carousel. Wildcard weekend, obviously. We're going to talk about that. Go through the matchups. I guess let you know who we think's going to win it. Got to talk about Trae Young for Jory and I, both being in the Atlanta area. We both know how Trae Young is regarded in the city, and now seeing him leave, very interesting. Russell Wilson made some headlines with comments that he made about his hamstring, which, yeah, that's a whole other thing. Even with the coaching carousel, we will kind of rank the openings. And then we got Final Burn. And as Jory said, there's a lot of people who got on her nerves, so she's got a lot to burn. I've got somebody I will be burning tonight, so we are prepared to have a fun show. So let's go ahead and kick it off with Trae Young. And as I said, both of us in the Atlanta area, we know Hawks fans love Trae Young. Love them some Trae Young. And it's kind of felt a little weird with Trae and the Hawks, where they get out to that great start early in the season when Trae Young wasn't playing. Trae Young came back. It just didn't feel like it was cohesive. And now we got to the point where, Trae Young mentioned that he'd be okay with a fresh start somewhere else. which I also thought like, okay, that's fine, but will Atlanta actually do it? Atlanta not only did it, but traded him within the division to Washington. Trae Young puts out this letter to the city, basically kind of make it seem like he and Atlanta weren't seeing eye to eye the organization, and that's why he's kind of okay with moving on. So, I guess for you, Jory, obviously you've been in Atlanta longer than I have. The day has finally gotten here where Trae Young got dealt away. Oh, I guess to let people know, it's Trae Young to the Wizards for CJ McCollum and Corey Kispert. Great package, I know. But yeah, Jory, like, what were your thoughts when you saw the Hawks traded Trae Young away?
They traded him for nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely nothing. And for him to try to spin it like it was just a irreconcilable differences. Yeah, you can't play defense. The team looks better when you're not there. Those are the irreconcilable differences. Not
Mm-hmm.
y'all seeing eye to eye, because y'all been seeing eye to eye as long as they've been trying to build that shit around you. What are you talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Y'all were seeing eye to eye then. Now all of a sudden y'all don't see eye to eye because they see that they're better without you. He is going to be a role player he's going to be a role player. I just don't think Trae Young is all of that. I've seen the highs of the Trae Young experience and I've seen the lows.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen the point where he's played high levels of basketball. He still don't play defense, but then I see levels of where I just see him rolling around, running around on the court and shimmying and shooting threes. So what? There's my cousin.
Right. Go IU, okay. IU has looked good so far.
I'm not ready to talk about Indiana right now.
I know. I understand.
38-3.
Hey, I mean, look, I feel like even with that, it doesn't look. A lot of people are saying that showed Alabama didn't belong. I think it just means Indiana
Indiana's a really good team.
Indiana's a really good team. Mendoza, like, he's kind of growing on me. I wasn't necessarily the biggest fan of his, but I don't know. He's looking good. Signetti with the stern look on his face, like, it's a whole vibe in Indiana.
Where did
Good for them.
Signetti come from?
I mean, let the people know.
Nick Saban. Everybody hate Alabama until they need a head coach.
Same for those in the back, yes. No, look, Indiana's been impressive this year, and look, once again, I think for college football fans, embrace this. Embrace the school that's not a national power like in Indiana, looking like this, potentially winning a national championship. Embrace a team like Miami as a 10 seed, making it to the national championship. Like, this is what college football needs. I've said it for years that college football needs to take a page from March Madness and embrace the unpredictable championship runs. So I think it's been a lot of fun.
You know who's still mad? The
Notre
other
Dame?
team in Indiana. Yep.
Well, Notre Dame will be all right. What's up, Tapa? Sad Mendoza's going to the Raiders. I'd rather go to the Raiders than the Jets.
I really would. I'd rather go to Neptune than either one of them. Neptune.
Rob Parker said, Rob Parker, there's a name I haven't heard in a while. I have not listened to anything he's said in quite some
He's
time.
He's not saying anything worthwhile.
And he got a bunch of 23, 25-year-old kids playing. Well, I mean, it is what it is. Like, BYU does that too.
Mm-hmm. And nobody gets on them about that.
I mean, theirs is more of a mission thing, but, it's all the same. They'll not nearly have the same offensive with the Raiders as he has with Indiana. Well, there's a reason why the Raiders are picking number one, so that's definitely true. Um, but yeah, I mean, Trae Young. The first time I see him in a Wizard uniform, it's gonna look really weird.
He's gonna look great to me because I've been trying to get him out of here for a while. A while.
Yeah. I mean, I've been on that boat as well. Like, you could tell that. Look, as good as Trae Young is, he was never gonna win a title in Atlanta. I know it's hard to say anything sports related as never gonna happen. It was never gonna happen with Trae Young. They tried different iterations of this team. You know, I thought the DeJounte Murray pairing would have been the one that would have worked. That was terrible because Trae Young couldn't play off the ball, and Murray is better on the ball than he is off the ball. You thought Trae Young would have been like the Steph Curry type, where Steph Curry can play off the ball? No, Trae Young couldn't do that. You talked about his lack of defense, which, you know, people say that about your guy Luka, but I'll give Luka this. Luka is a bigger body. So you can kind of, you know, Luka has his moments. Trae Young is a tiny guy that teams, you know, put screen after screen on, and he just gets completely lost on defense. So
at least Luka tries.
But Luka's also got a bigger body, and he can, you know, he can fight off a screen. He can do something like that. Trae can't. Trae runs to a screen, he's done. And I think the biggest part of this is all you could get was Corey Kispert and CJ McCollum. CJ McCollum's an expiring contract. So the Hawks are basically telling you that they dumped Trae off on the Wizards for cap relief.
Yep.
That seems wild, considering if they had done this a couple of years ago, they probably would have gotten a lot more for him. But
hey. We were telling them that, but they didn't want to listen.
Right.
But the Hawks are terribly run. So there's that.
That conference championship run was, looking back on it, and I said it then, that Atlanta shouldn't look at that and make it seem like that's the norm. Atlanta treated it like they made it there. They were going to be there year after year and potentially be a finals team. They were never finals good. That run was aided by a lot of weird things that had to happen the same playoff run. That was the playoff run where we learned Ben Simmons was a broken man. That was the playoff run where Giannis got hurt in that series, even though Giannis eventually came back and they still beat them. But, you know, that was the Knicks run where we learned that Trae Young, when it comes to the playoffs, only plays well against the Knicks for whatever reason it is. He just
in New York.
The Knicks. Yeah, in New York. So if they had treated that run like they should have, as kind of a fluke, then maybe they would have reshaped the roster a little bit better. But look, it's I guess it's Jalen Johnson and the young kids running Atlanta, because you can't even say Porzingis, because Porzingis is still dealing with the illness and stuff. We'll see if they're better off, at least for this season, the rest of this season, if they go back to how they played earlier, now that Trae Young is like out of the building. Because I'm hoping CJ McCollum's not in their like future plans, because McCollum's like 30, it's like 35 years old.
Yeah. And I think Trae Young is not supposed to play for the Wizards this season. He's probably not.
And that's the other weird part, because Trae Young keeps talking about like DC is slept on and all this kind of stuff. Like,
slept on by who?
So Trae Young's trying to make it seem like, you know, DC has young players and he's the type to bring those young players to the next level. But it's like you said, there's some thoughts that he may not even stay in Washington for that long.
Talking about what the Wizards are slept on. Has he tried to watch Wizards highlights? Them shits is hard to watch. And I tried to do it this year and I tried to do it last year. They are a rough watch.
Mm-hmm. So, Gene.
Indiana is handling business right now.
Mm-hmm.
By Oregon. Wait, that's who they're playing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, by
Oddly
Oregon.
enough, Oregon was my pick to win it all because I knew it was going to be kind of a weird playoff because it's just been a weird year in sports, and I was like, maybe this is the year Oregon gets through.
OR overrated.
Well, the more you see Indiana, it's like Indiana is just a dominant
Really
football team that people probably didn't give enough credit to. What's up, Sijin? But all right, so Trae Young no longer a Hawk, something that Jory alluded to. It was probably like the first few episodes of this show. We were like, yeah, probably something they need to do. That was over a year ago, and even before that. But it doesn't stop there. Memphis is openly shopping Ja Morant. I feel like that's not that big of a surprise. We kind of assumed that it was going to happen at some point. And then Giannis, in the only Giannis fashion, now telling everybody he's sticking around in Milwaukee and wants to be there for the rest of his career because he's an employee. So I'm like, okay,
what?
I guess. Look, you get Giannis on a microphone, you don't know what he's going to say. I find it entertaining, but Giannis is telling people he wants to stay in Milwaukee. I guess
Not
Bucks
because
fans.
He loves the city, not because he loves the franchise, but because he's an employee.
But he said before that even though Milwaukee's down, like he wants to be the reason to build them back up. So he has said kind of that stuff before.
I'm an employee. I'm an employee too. That don't mean I like my job all the time. I was ready to cut some folks out today. What are we talking about? Hey, I did not want to be there. I wanted to be in my bed, sleep.
Giannis is being Giannis. My question with Morant, though, I find it weird. The Hawks trade Trae Young. The next day, we hear Memphis is shopping Morant.
Memphis
was there never a call between the two of them?
Memphis did that on purpose. You can't tell me Memphis didn't do that on purpose.
It certainly seems that way.
Just like the Dolphins fired McDaniel right after hearing that Harbaugh got fired.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Which we will touch on that in a little bit. But
Memphis did that on purpose. And the thing is with Ja, if Ja didn't know that this was coming, he need to stop being delusional.
Yeah.
Because he should have been using this time to build his value and get the hell up out of Memphis. And now his value still isn't that great.
Yeah.
Charlotte will take him.
I mean, I am interested to see the kind of market. I think the report was the Heat. There's like 3 teams that they said were kind of monitoring the Morant situation. I know the Heat were one of them. Can't remember the other 2, but there's at least a market for him. But funny, yeah. Oh, side we talked about earlier. She got a new microphone and everything. Like,
yeah, I got a new
microphone. You'll probably hear a lot from her very shortly.
Oh yes, this entire weekend I'm recording stuff.
See, there you go.
I got a new microphone and I don't know what to do with myself.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm just like, at some point, could Atlanta have not called Memphis? Could Memphis not have called Atlanta and been like, hey, let's just swap our headaches and see if they just do better in a new city?
That makes too much sense for both of them. And neither really one of them make moves that make sense.
Yeah. I don't understand it. But I want to see, what a team gives up for Morant. Like, he's still young, obviously. One of the biggest gripes I had about him was his perimeter game, but it seems like he has improved it a little bit. He's still not great on the perimeter, but he's better than he used to be. He can still play with a lot of pace. He can get to the rim. He can do all that. Obviously, the questions are, leadership and all that, and off the court mostly. But I don't know. Somebody will give up something for him, and I guess hope he can get his career back going. But 3 and D, what's up? Think Darius Garland for LaMelo Ball trade works?
Cleveland says no to that. Cleveland says no to that.
3 and D, I think it's interesting because I feel like there is a Garland move that probably could happen. Like I don't know. I've seen Garland without Spida, and I'm like, Garland kind of underwhelms for me. I think he's a little bit overrated as a running mate for Donovan Mitchell. But LaMelo, I don't know if he's I don't know. I feel like LaMelo might be the type who puts up big numbers in situations where not a lot of expectations. Like, is he going to go to Cleveland and all of a sudden become a more disciplined player? Then sure, I would do it. But based off what I've seen in Charlotte, he still has his moments where he just makes you scratch your head.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I feel like Cleveland would hang up. Yeah, I think Cleveland would hang up.
No, because Cleveland is in that weird spot where they're trying to figure out if they want to rebuild or they want to compete for a championship. They're good enough through the regular season. It's just first week of April. Here we go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they still have to figure out. They still have to figure out, can they win a title with Mitchell as their number one?
As currently we know the answer to that is no. Because they haven't done it.
Colin Sexton for Lonzo Ball. Wait, Cleveland doesn't have Colin Sexton.
Colin Sexton is in Utah.
Yeah. I mean, Lonzo and LaMelo, if they played on the same team, like, I feel like they did that. Then people would be like, "Hey, get LiAngelo back in." Like, no.
Oh no, I don't need to hear that. I don't want to see Mr. Swerve in that corner. Whoa, no.
Wait, the Hornets? When did that happen? You know what? You're right. I completely look. 3D. I'm gonna be honest with you. When Sexton left Cleveland, I kind of lost track. Like, he popped up in Utah. I thought he was still there, but I remember there was a move for him going to the Hornets. You're right. I mean, Colin Sexton, what's wrong with him? He seemed like he was going to be a pretty good guard, and now it's. All right, so you're talking about Hornets trading Sexton to the Cavs for Lonzo Ball.
Why would I do that over a man who has a whole different need than what he was born with? Nope. Only way I'm getting Lonzo is he hit free agency. I'm not wasting a draft pick, and I'm not sending players for somebody with a knee like that.
No. No worries, we all did. I forgot Grant. I know Grant Williams on the Hornets because Grant Williams likes to show out when they play the Celtics, and it usually doesn't go well for him. LaMelo for Josh, straight up. So, look, and I think 3 and D has proven a bit of a point where there is this narrative that LaMelo needs saving from Charlotte. I get it. But we also have to understand LaMelo has contributed to a lot of the issues in Charlotte too.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe part of that is Charlotte with no winning culture. He feels like he can act a certain way. And if he went somewhere with like better coaching, maybe he would be a better player. But I don't know. I'm not the biggest LaMelo guy either.
That type of coaching.
I guess that's my question. Because a lot of people loved the highlights we saw of him on like Instagram and stuff, and a lot of that was him like cherry picking, not getting back in defense, and just launching threes from wherever he wanted to.
And that's the main reason why I didn't like him. Right. I never liked the man coming out of high school. I'm like, I'm good.
Yeah.
And his brother, the idiot that's running around creating broken homes, all he could do was jump and dunk.
Yeah. They called Trae Young a stat stuffer now, but he played the same exact way when the Hawks made the East Conference Finals, and he was media darling because the team was better constructed. It's a media narrative.
Trae is a stat stuffer.
Well, I mean, look, the Trae Young narrative was kind of an Atlanta creation because they took Luka. And I knew they didn't actually like Luka because the way Atlanta sports scene is, they were attracted to Trae Young because that season in college basketball, Trae Young was the biggest story for whatever reason. Even though his Oklahoma team was like one and done in the tournament, and he didn't even play that well. But they were never going to buy in to Luka, the kid from Real Madrid. That, let's be honest, nobody in Atlanta is watching Real Madrid basketball. So that was never going to work here. But they all knew who Trae Young was.
Basketball, period.
Well, I mean, but look, Atlanta sports work very simply.
When?
If the player has attention coming into the league, that's who they'll go for because that'll create buzz within the fan base. The Falcons do it all the time. They'll just target SEC players because in Georgia, SEC football is king. That's all they know. That's all they care about. Hawks, you take the college basketball player that was a big deal, that's what they do. That's why they took Marvin Williams too. Wasn't a starter in North Carolina, but they took him for whatever reason, and his career was okay, but it was never great for where they drafted him. Luka plays just as bad defense as they called him selfish until Mavs made the finals, but he was playing the same way. I mean, there are some parallels between the two. Like you could argue
Luka over Trae.
I would too. But the same way that people talk about it's difficult to build around Trae, I feel like it was difficult to build around Luka early in his career. But I feel like Luka's taken like steps in his development, and Trae is kind of the same guy.
Yep.
Yes, Sheldon Williams was the perfect example. They called him like the landlord or something at Duke. We all knew Sheldon Williams was going to be a great NBA player, but the Hawks fell for it and took him.
Sheldon Williams? We're talking about Candace Parker's ex-husband, Sheldon?
Yes. At Duke, he was seen as like the best defensive player, and I think they called him the landlord. I think that was his nickname at Duke. And because it was Duke, and Duke was really good, he got a lot of attention, and the Hawks jumped all over it. Because I believe that wasn't the Chris Paul draft. Oh, who was the player in that draft? I think the Chris Paul draft might have been Marvin Williams. It was one of them Williams that they took over Chris Paul, and I was just like, yeah, they're doomed from that. Yes, the only thing Sheldon did in his career was get with Candace Parker. That's all he's known for, which tells you what kind of pro he was.
Terrible.
It was so bad. I remember when they made that pick, I was just laughing. But I guess we're going on with the trade rumors. We got to talk about, JJ Redick was a Duke with Sheldon. Yeah. Anthony Davis was a name that was kind of popping up trade rumors. But as you can see from the picture, he did have a hand injury. And then earlier today, there's concerns that there's ligament damage in his hand, which now the other concern is if he has to have surgery on his hand, he could be out multiple months. Now, look, Jory, he used to play for the Lakers. You've seen him up close and personal. The rest of us has seen him, LA, Dallas, New Orleans, and it always seems like whenever you're looking for AD, he's hurt, which is where street clothes came from. Now, you gotta give him credit. The bubble championship that the Lakers won, Anthony Davis was a pivotal point in that. I've said, I know LeBron won Finals MVP. I would have given it to AD because AD was balling out of his mind, and a lot of times in those games, late in the game when they needed a bucket, they threw it down to AD and AD made it happen. But we knew he was never going to win MVP because LeBron's on the team, because that's just how it goes. So I guess, for you, thoughts on AD, thoughts on yet another injury that, I guess is going to stagnate another season for him. Because oddly enough, the Hawks supposedly were in on AD after the Trae Young trade, which I was like, you're going to get AD and Porzingis in the same building. Porzingis can't get over this illness, and AD just can't stay healthy. But I guess they're going to be saved from themselves, maybe. But yeah, what are your thoughts on AD?
He needs to think about what LeBron needs to do. Retire. He's done. He can't stay healthy.
Is AD like early 30s now?
32?
That sounds about right.
But with his injury history, and plus he don't want to be in Dallas anyway. That game versus the Lakers, he looked so sad. I wanted to give him a hug.
He really did.
I really wanted to give that man a hug.
Mm-hmm.
And with this injury, he was really close to getting his wish, which was to get out of Dallas. But I don't think they're gonna move on from him. But his value is done. 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 Well cooked, fried. His value is done. So they might as well just either cut him in the offseason or try to find a trade partner in the offseason.
Right. That's probably where it ends up. Because, I don't think a team trades for him now, knowing that if it's multiple months, then, maybe he just is done for the rest of the year or something like that. And, I mean, they're saying it's like his hand, but I get what you're saying. I mean, it seems like it's his offhand, but obviously basketball, you do have to use both hands. Like, I don't know. And look, it's bad enough the trade to Dallas is seen as one of the worst trades ever. But now, for this to be going the way it is in Dallas, it's just like, he was supposed to be the centerpiece of that trade, whether you believe that or not. And now they're looking to move him because the team is kind of in a situation right now where AD doesn't really do much for you because you're not good right now. May not be good next year. And with his body, you don't know how many more years you're going to get out of him. Same reason why the Clay Thompson experiment.
He'll be done before 40.
He what?
He will be done before 40.
Oh, yeah. If he makes it to 40, put him in the Hall of Fame just for that. Like, I don't see how that happens. And to be honest with you, I know that most Mavericks fans have been like waiting for Kyrie Irving to come back and all that. I just think the Dallas situation, you chalk it up as an L, move whatever you can. If you got to go young with Cooper Flag and hope they all develop together, then go ahead and do that. Get a point guard.
The thing about it, because it's a ligament, you don't want to do anything with ligaments. You don't want to mess anything about no ligaments up. That's the one thing you like. I would say it's just a finger, let him play, but it's a ligament.
Yes, and plus with AD's luck,
You
finger
don't want it
turn
to
into
make
an
it worse.
elbow turn into a shoulder, and it's just a whole chain reaction. So let's see. I guess
I
question would
hope the
be,
best for him, but his value is done.
yeah. I mean, it's another cautionary tale with these big men. Once they start getting injured, it's usually a snowball effect.
Mm-hmm.
It's unfortunate because AD is really talented when he's on the floor. Problem is, he's not on the floor enough that kind of appreciate the talent that he is. And
Another
as he gets older,
example.
it's just gonna get worse. Yeah, go ahead.
Another example. Joel Embiid.
Mm-hmm. Same cause. I mean, I've said that with Joel Embiid because Embiid had leg injuries in college. That not
Embiid
surprised
went
that
to
he
college.
did what?
Embiid went to college.
Yeah, he went to Kansas. Yes, I want to say he played at Kansas with Wiggins. I think they
I don't
overlap.
remember that.
Look, it seems so long ago, but yeah, Joel Embiid was at Kansas.
Probably because I was probably in elementary school, middle school, but
Yeah, I mean, look, it's like I said, it has been so long that you do kind of forget some guys that were. I think he was at college for a year. I think he was like one and done.
oh okay.
I think I could be wrong, but I do vividly remember him in a Kansas uniform. I think that was back when I was like rooting for Kansas all the time because Paul Pierce went to Kansas, and yeah. But I mean, that's true. Big men and injuries, it's tough. That's why I feel like the Spurs are going to be careful with Wemby, even though he just like hyperextended his leg. When I first saw it, I was like, oh no, please don't tell me he like tore something. But he seems like he's fine. But they have him on minutes restriction, coming off the bench, all that kind of stuff. Like you have to be careful with these big men.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's get into the head coaching carousel. Um, what's going on, Pavel? I missed your comment there. Yeah, happy Friday to you. Um, Coaching carousel. After the regular season, we always get the Black Monday where guys get fired. This year we had Black Monday, Black Tuesday, and Black Wednesday because Wednesday we got the Mike McDaniel. Tuesday we got John Harbaugh. I mean, actually had Black Sunday. I think Raheem Morris was fired like 15 minutes after the game ended. But
Yep.
then, I mean, that was yeah. There's always one of those every year too. But then Monday we got like the Pete Carroll firing. Uh, Stefanski, I believe, was on Monday.
Gannon.
Yeah, Gannon. So we have 8 jobs available: Titans, Giants, Browns, Dolphins, Falcons, Raiders, Ravens. Um, Sijin, yeah. Kubiak interviewed for the Ravens job
Nope.
today.
F him. Wait till next Saturday. And F the Ravens. The Titans are a more attractive job than the Ravens. I don't care about Lamar. They don't got no cap space. And we have Cam. And Cam's a better thrower of the ball than Lamar.
Okay, look, I mean, you started the conversation, so sell the Titans job. I mean,
I
Kubiak's not
mean,
watching, but look, somebody pass along to him, sell him on the Titans.
You have Cam. That's the bigger one. Cam Ward and his development and how and the growth that he's shown this year, that's something that should be a plus. Plus, you got $105 million in cap space.
That's a big deal.
You also have Jeffrey Simmons on the defensive line. And that defense is actually pretty good if they can fix the secondary.
Mm-hmm.
Fix the secondary, goddammit. And Amy, she reclarified the front office structure. She stopped all of that, whatever the hell the buzzword was.
Oh, one of those like cooperative effort front offices or
Yes!
something?
Yes! She stopped all of that. Mike Borgonzi is taking over. He's going to be the true GM and not all this other crap.
Mm-hmm.
Confusing ass front office structure. So that should be a plus. If she had to do that, knowing that we were going into a head coaching search and she didn't want it to be an unattractive job, she had to clarify that.
Mm-hmm.
And if you look at the offensive line, there's 2 first-round picks on there. If you can get rid of Dan Moore Jr., sorry ass, and fill that out, you have a pretty decent team.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think I need to say this, but Kamira Dike and Alec Agumeno are going to be very good, 2 very good receivers in this league.
Mm-hmm. I mean, DK was up there in all-purpose yards for a reason because he's also a threat in the return game.
DK went to the Pro Bowl for a reason.
Yes.
As a rookie.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I mean, I guess is there more on the sell job to Kubiak?
You don't have to worry. You. No, I think that's pretty much it.
Okay.
You already have a defensive coordinator. You don't have to worry about that.
Right.
Just fix the offense.
Since Kubiak is coming from Seattle, we do see what Seattle's defense looks like. If they were to move, if Kubiak came in and moved off Denard Wilson, would you have confidence at least him bringing somebody from Seattle?
He better do it if you're going to come off of Denard.
Okay. All right. Out of all the coaches being fired, McDaniels intrigues me the most, Sijin says.
He could bring Kubiak can bring in McDaniels as an offensive coordinator.
Has McDaniels taken any interviews yet? I know he's going to get some attention for offensive coordinator for sure. Let's see. The Lions are interested in him.
Of course they are.
I mean, hey, they moved off of their guy. Why not? Yes, I guess if he ever actually does an interview with the Lions, then. Oh, wait. McDaniel has an interview with the Titans scheduled.
For what?
Head coach.
Hell no. Hell no. No.
That could be another thing. Look, maybe you pick his brain on what he would do with Cam. And I mean, I would hope Cam would be in that interview at least. That could be an interesting one.
Borgonzi's starting to piss me off.
Okay, yeah. Well, yeah, he is interviewing for the head coaching job. I mean, it's an interesting list so far.
You know who didn't throw a pick? I let Matt Nagy be a consideration interview. I
Well,
don't want Matt
this
Nagy.
story is making it seem like they haven't scheduled a Nagy interview yet. Because right now,
Don't do it.
what they have scheduled right now, there's another name in here that's going to anger you. So I'm warning you now. Raheem Morris, Mike McCarthy, Mike McDaniel. That's what they've scheduled so far.
And Jason Damn Garrett. You didn't forget that part.
Well, this story didn't mention him, so I don't know if that's not set yet as when they're going to actually do that one. But those are the ones that they have listed as like set. They're going to interview them.
Raheem Morris is the Rooney Rule interview. They're not taking him serious at all.
Yeah, but I feel like they could have used it on somewhere more useful. But that's
like
fine.
Flores.
Yes. So Topper said the Lions. This with McDaniels. Lions need him and the Bucks need him. I think the Bucks will probably interview him too.
What do we do?
Is he off the weed? Oh, okay. Matt Nagy is a good coordinator, not a good head coach. Well, tell Kansas City that because they don't believe he's a good coordinator.
Not a good coordinator right now either.
Wait a minute. Says McCarthy also has a Giants interview.
I'm finna get on Oregon ass because they got 55 4 and 5 stars on the roster and they're getting blown out to bits.
But this is kind of what Oregon does. And even when I picked Oregon to win it all, I only picked them because Oregon normally doesn't show up in the playoff. But I was like, it's such a weird year. It would be the year that Oregon actually does it. But it seems like they're going to kind of run into problems yet again. Yeah. Mm-hmm. The enemy needs an interview. He does have Kansas City ties. Bergonzi has Kansas City ties. Will the Titans interview him? I don't know. We'll see. And it was like last week somebody told me that Bieniemy was the running backs coach in Chicago. Because once again, I kind of forgot about that. Chicago's running game has been pretty good.
The Falcons are not the most attractive job, and I can tell you why. They don't have no cap space. Arthur Blank is still the goddamn owner. All of that talent that they've acquired, a lot of that is aging.
Mm-hmm.
Kyle Pitts is a myth. Your offensive line is getting older.
He only shows up when Kirk Cousins plays.
See?
That's the weirdest thing.
If I had a sellout joke, I'd be wrong, right?
Yes, maybe. The biggest thing holding up the Falcons job, Penix is your franchise quarterback, but Penix isn't a franchise quarterback.
Exactly. And why are you trusting somebody with 3 ACL tears on 2 knees to be your franchise anything?
Mm-hmm.
Terry Fontenot, he's made good picks, but he's run this team into the ground. And it started with him hiring Arthur Smith.
Yep.
And guess who was considering them to be an interview?
Who?
Borgs. I've seen enough of damn Arthur Smith.
Yeah.
I couldn't wait for the door to hit his ass on the way out. Why would I want him to coach us?
Mm-hmm.
Those are great pieces. They have no direction, Topper. They have no direction. They have good pieces, but what is good? The point of having good pieces, and they ain't got damn sense of direction.
The best thing they have going for them, they're serious about Matt Ryan as president or whatever. Get a football mind in there, sure. I mean, we'll have to see what Matt Ryan does. Because I'm assuming Matt Ryan's going to take the job. I don't know. That's just me. But like Top, I agree, as Jory said. Yeah, those are nice pieces. This is a quarterback-driven league, though. If you can't figure out the quarterback position, you have problems. And they gave all that money to Kirk Cousins. They drafted Michael Penix with 8th overall. And now you're going to tell me, I guess, with the Penix injury, you may have to use more draft capital on another quarterback. Like, at what point do you get it right? Because you don't want to turn to Cleveland. They got quarterbacks all over the place, and none of them are helping them on the field, win anything. I mean, look, I could argue that there are some good qualities about Atlanta. The cap space is a problem for me. Like, if they were to move Kirk Cousins, then maybe that would probably help out a lot, and maybe it'd look a little better. Because they are in a weak division, which is also another thing you got to factor in here. Tampa Bay had their bad year last year. I guess there are some questions as to whether or not, Tampa Bay bounces back. Carolina is on the come up for sure, but I don't know how long before they're like a real serious contender where every year you write them in as a division winner. And then New Orleans, they have Tyler Shuck, who played well at the end of the year, but they still have their own cap situation. So I guess the Falcons' job isn't terrible. I just don't know if I would want it right now.
Nope.
Sidon says, who would be a great fit for the Falcons? I would say go offense, number one. So if I'm going to go offense, which offense do I want to take from?
Brian Callahan. Perfect for him.
Didn't Callahan do an interview somewhere?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, didn't he interview in Baltimore for their OC? Yeah, something like that. I mean, that's yeah. Okay, yeah. So Tapa, like Kubiak would make sense, but Jory's already claiming him, so
no. Leave Clint Kubiak the hell alone.
But they have to go along that line of thinking. Go young offensive mind who can go in there with Bijan Robinson. Tyler Algier is going to leave. He's going to test free agency or whatever. He wants to go be a starter somewhere. Which that's another thing that killed me was they drafted Algier. He was a 1,000-yard rusher. Then they went and got Bijan Robinson the very next year. Atlanta loves doing stuff like that, and I don't get why they do it.
And that's why they always draft these fancy, sexy picks instead of drafting according to need.
Yeah. We've discussed this, and Jory, if it came down to that, she has said McCarthy. She wants nothing to do with Matt Nagy.
If we get Nagy, let me tell you something, because I'm going to live stream this. I will walk to Nashville with a pitchfork.
Malik Willis can thrive in that offense. Malik Willis made himself some money. I will agree with that.
I'm getting Clint Kubiak, and there's nothing that Tapa, there's nothing that 3&D, there's nothing that Saijan or anybody else in that chat can say that is going to dissuade me from thinking that we're going to get Kubiak.
There we go.
Jeez.
All right, so you have the Titans as the best job. Saijan says, word is if Kubiak leaves, the rest under him is going with him. I think Seattle will block that and free Kubiak.
Seattle can't block shit. What are we talking about? If they want to leave, they can quit. What are we talking about? It's not a fantasy. It's actually thought and logical reasoning, because I'm like, what?
Drake London is nice. He's not a number one. I actually kind of like Drake London. I kind of like Drake London.
He's getting wasted in Atlanta.
Yeah, because that's the quarterback situation. Yeah, so you've got the Titans as the best job.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to copy that because, I want to make a claim for somebody else. Question is, who? I mean, I think a lot of people look at the Baltimore job and they go, it's a great job.
No, it's
I will
horrible.
make a claim for what's good about Baltimore. So if you are a Ravens fan, you take this moment to realize I'm not gonna troll your team right now. What's good about Baltimore?
Nothing. Not the fan base, not the ownership.
I was gonna say you at least have Derrick Henry. You got that. Great. Um, your offensive line isn't bad. You just have the biggest eyesore in the league playing guard for you. You fix that, you're probably good.
You should have put that picture of him just standing straight up. That what yeah.
Every week he does something that you just wonder, how did he get through college? And how did he get drafted?
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's crazy. On top it says Desmond Ritter, injured Penix, and Kirk Cousins. Yeah, that's on like the quarterback situation. I feel like hasn't helped Drake London. I mean Desmond Ritter. Like they really thought he was going to be a starter. That just tells you all you need to know about Atlanta. But look, you get the 2-time MVP as a quarterback. Yes, the playoff success hasn't been there. It's not a bad starting point. I guess we'll give him that.
He's beat all to hell.
He is. This year he was absolutely beat up. And I think there's, questions as to is he going to age well and all that. But he's still relatively young. I think Baltimore needs a offensive mind to take that job. I know Baltimore is going to be tempted to go defensive because that's what they love to do. Switch it up, I feel like. Go offensive. I know they interviewed Joe Brady. Fine. Do something like that. But defensively, you got Kyle Hamilton. You at least got that. I don't know. The division isn't great.
I'm just surprised you're not saying nothing nice about Marlon.
Marlon? I can't stand Marlon Humphrey. Marlon Humphrey need to go. The more he talks, the further away he needs to go.
Mm-hmm.
Like, look, Marlon Humphrey, and I give Baltimore credit. They tried him in different roles. Each role, you still targeted him, and he, could not hold up. But I guess the biggest selling point, 2-time MVP at quarterback. I know there's going to be some arrogant coach who'll go in and be like, I can come with an offensive philosophy to get Lamar over the hump. Good for you. The defense does need some work. I don't think it's like a job that's like, too hard to actually do. I feel like my argument's kind of falling apart and stuff because I don't actually believe it. Like, I don't actually believe it, but it's the highest profile job. I just don't know if it's the best job.
Nate Wiggins is not a damn rookie. We've been talking about Nate Wiggins blowing stuff since last year.
Yeah, so Wiggins in his is it
third year? He on his rookie contract.
Mm-hmm. Smell a rematch of Seahawks Broncos / Patriots, win or lose. Call me crazy, but yeah, remember me. That happens, we will remember.
Mm-hmm.
You're probably the first one to remind us, but actually, no joke. I think I made a prediction of Seahawks Patriots. I think that was like my fun prediction. I think my actual prediction was Bills somebody. I don't know. All right, so yeah, I'm not going to do the Ravens argument. I can't do it in good faith. Maybe the Giants job. You get to coach in New York. If you can win in New York, they'll love you forever. You get Jackson Dart at quarterback. As reckless as he is, he's a competitor. I will take that in my quarterback any day. I think you can coach the recklessness out of him. It might cause a lot of sleepless nights doing so, but I think Jackson Dart has something that you can definitely work with. You're going to get Cam Scatteroo back next year. the wild man at running back who's also kind of reckless. So, like, you better
reckless. That man is a Neanderthal.
But I'm just saying, you take that job with those two in the backfield, like, you better buy stock in the Pepto Bismol and just gut it out. I think
And
defensively.
ibuprofen.
Oh, go ahead.
And ibuprofen and anything that you need for a headache because you're gonna
Just
be
invest in all of it.
dealing with. Yeah, you're gonna be dealing with headaches from about 100 headaches from between the both of them.
Mm-hmm. Defensively, you have a really good front seven. Abdul Carter, you got Burns. Was it? I always get the Lawrences mixed up. They have Dexter Lawrence. Because right, they have Dexter or DeMarcus.
They have Dexter. Seattle has
DeMarcus is in Seattle. I always mix up where the two of them are. So you have that working with their O-line. You could do some improvements, but I think the New York job is interesting at least. Secondary is trash. Well, yeah, you can fix that. Throw some draft picks out there.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Giants, like I said, is intriguing because you are in New York, big market. You'll get a lot of attention. If you turn it around, you will be king of New York. Because I know New York has the Jets, but they're kind of a Giants city.
Mm-hmm.
Because the Giants have been the more successful franchise. Makes a lot of sense.
And wear a mask when you go to New York because it stink.
I mean, that's that New York grit.
It stinks. And you know it stinks. It ain't no grit about that. Just ew.
Yeah.
That was the one thing when I went to New York, bruh. I was like, it looks so pretty on the movies and all of this to smell like this.
My man, I feel like most movies use Manhattan and like Times Square. That's like the two parts they use. In Times Square, you go the right time.
Times Square stinks too.
It is a mess.
I know.
Central Park stinks. Yes.
The whole damn city stink.
That's what it is. Yes, because they have the police on horses, and the horses, they will poop everywhere. That is what it is. I mean, those are like mini bears in New York.
I'm glad I didn't see none when I went.
You must not have rode the train.
I did. I did ride the subway.
Then you got really lucky. Not to knock on New York. If you're watching from New York, there are some good qualities in New York.
I mean, the pizza's good.
You
can shop at 11 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
But I'd rather eat cannolis and not be in a city that stinks.
What's wrong with NBA refs? Another got injured. Bill Kennedy. They
want sympathy for when people tearing their ass up. Not too much on Chicago.
See, I've never experienced a Chicago subway. I don't know. I've been on the New York subway.
Not too much on Chicago.
Yeah, I can't speak on that. Somebody else had a comment about a job. Mo said, Raiders are the worst job because they have Baby Huey as an owner. He clearly can't make good decisions. Still has the same barber. Yeah.
When is he going to get rid of that stupid ass bowl cut? It's looking like this thing on my ceiling right now. The little...
I mean, he has a wife, right? I'm assuming she okay with it. He going to keep rolling with it. Because I agree. Like, that man's on TV every game. He hasn't looked at that and gone, that haircut got to go.
What is the name of the dude off of the Lorax?
I mean, he just reminds me of Dumb and Dumber.
Let it die. Let it die. That dude. He reminds me of the dude off of the Lorax with that stupid ass haircut.
Pete to the Jets. I think Pete Carroll kind of have to be done with coaching at this point.
Yeah. And the Jets aren't moving off of Aaron Glenn.
Yeah, they're keeping Aaron Glenn.
because they know that Aaron Glenn has been through a rough patch with Detroit.
Let's keep it 100. She's on the payroll. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Pete should just enjoy retirement.
Ride
Go
a scooter.
sail. Yeah, go sail, fish, do something. Man, 70, just you don't need that headache anymore. I'm sure that Raiders job took more years off your life. Enjoy your time away. Mendoza will be wait. Look, I mean, the Raiders are wasting Ashton Genty. Why not waste the quarterback too?
Right.
Gruden would be a fun, like New York hire, but the Jets are keeping Aaron Glenn, at least as of right now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that could be a thing where if somebody with a name like John Gruden said, I want the Jets job, would they push Aaron Glenn out for him? They probably
John
would.
Gruden is not getting another job in the NFL.
I would never say never, but I think it's kind of leaning that way. Like John Gruden would be, Hard Knocks gold.
No. You know who needs to be on Hard Knocks? Cam and Jeffrey. Those two need to be on Hard Knocks.
Well, hey, Tennessee make a splash with their coaching hire. That could be.
We're not going to talk about that, Topper. Because somebody is casting a wide net,
mm-hmm.
and I think that net is a little too wide, and he need to rein that shit in.
Yes. Does Rex Ryan want to coach? Rex Ryan supposedly wanted the Jets job before they gave him to Aaron Glenn. I mean, Rex Ryan is another one who media people will love him. Yeah, I don't know.
He'll be funny.
Right. He shouldn't get another job, but I think he will. I mean, it only takes one team to give him one. I wonder if Rex Ryan would ever do the college thing like Bill Belichick did. Rex Ryan in college would be kind of hilarious. Mm-hmm. He'd probably be over it in like a week, but it'd be one heck of a week.
Callahan got, he's interviewing in Tampa.
That's where he's interviewing. Yeah, for their OC job. Chris Shula, is he the Rams DC? Yeah, Rams DC. Yeah, his name will come up, yeah. I would say, look, give these young coordinators a shot. I'm all for it. Lovie Smith. I mean, Lovie Smith was kind of done wrong by the Texans, but, it's the Texans. Like, Lovie Smith is a safe coaching hire. He'll clean up your messes. He'll get you to a point where you're competitive. I wouldn't hate it, but I think Lovie Smith's probably another guy who probably living a good life right now. I will say this. We've talked head coaching, and not one comment came in about the Rooney Rule. Normally this time of year, the Rooney Rule is always in the spotlight. Cliff Kingsbury left Washington, so he can be named. Yeah. My prediction was Cliff Kingsbury to Baltimore. Kingsbury worked with Jaden Daniels. Baltimore would look at it and go, hey, Jaden Daniels is like Lamar. Let's go get Kingsbury. That's been my prediction. I mean, certain Baltimore fans would love Brian Flores in Baltimore.
Go get Brian Callahan. That's who they deserve.
And the rumor is
Brian Flores.
But the rumor is Tom Brady wants Flores in Vegas. I'm not gonna lie, Brian Flores in silver and black, I feel like would work.
Tom Brady need to go sit his ass down somewhere too.
I'm just saying, he wants Brian Flores. He wants Dayball to be the OC.
Bye. Like, no.
I don't know if I'd call it epic.
Because Topper, they're annoying. They're annoying plagues of society who don't do shit but be delusional. and kiss Lamar's ass. They don't think anything is his fault.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they deserve to suffer. The
So on
only
top
people
of that,
I
there is
think
another
about,
reason for it. Ravens fans are convincing themselves they're going to get Nick Saban off of
oh
College
yes,
Game Day to coach.
that was going to be one of my final birds. But let's address this bullshit right now. Nicholas
Okay, go
Lou
ahead.
Saban will not be coming out of retirement to coach the Baltimore Ravens. He is fine, perfectly fine with sitting up on college football game day, standing up on chairs, and goofing off with McAfee, and going home to eat his oatmeal cream pies with Miss Terry. Saban is fine. He is perfectly fine. And did we forget that he still has an office at Bryant Denny Stadium? Saban Field at Bryant Denny Stadium. At that delusional ass fan base, I can't stand them. Nick Saban wants to coach the Baltimore Ravens. Wait a minute.
Mm-hmm. Oatmeal cream pie.
Those are his favorites.
Mm-hmm.
Saban wants no part of it. Like,
Right.
leave that man alone. He is 75 years old with a
Mm-hmm.
birthday on Halloween. Leave that man alone. Ain't calling to no damn Baltimore. What are you talking about?
Notre
To do
Dame
what?
locked up
Reunite with
Marcus
some of his
Williams.
former players? He could do that in Tuscaloosa. He ain't
Mm-hmm.
going to no Baltimore to coach.
Right. You're more likely getting Saban to coach at Alabama again than him coaching in Baltimore.
Exactly. He still has an office at the stadium.
But he's collecting that ESPN check. He's doing all right for
Mm-hmm.
himself. And he's having fun. I like seeing Nick have a little fun. We'll get into that. We'll talk about those games here. Let's move on to Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson came out and told us all, let us all in on a little secret. He had a hamstring tear in week 2 that he never told the team about and the team never found out about. Which, fascinating that a guy who kind of relies a little bit on mobility could hide a hamstring tear for that long. But I guess in revealing that, aren't the Giants open to some type of punishment of sorts, even though they said they didn't know? I feel like that's where this whole story gets weird. But I mean, I know George is something you want to talk about, but I guess what'd you think about Russ? I guess giving us that information. You think it was him to kind of explain why he looked so bad before being replaced? Because Russ
Exactly.
also says he wants to continue his career.
Exactly.
I would
He
love
did
to know
that to
where
try to
he
make.
thinks it's going to continue, but yeah, go ahead.
He definitely did that to try to elongate his career and make him prop himself up to make him feel better than what he actually is. If you were healthy enough to go out there and play and hide an injury, I don't want to hear about the fucking injury. Excuse my language. I don't want to hear about it.
Mm-hmm.
Because and I also he did that to get the Giants investigated because they benched him.
Yeah.
Russell Wilson is one of those type of people you got to watch him. Because outwardly he's going to present himself like he's the best person and you don't be doing nothing, but internally he be doing some bullshit. And saying this now is the definition of some BS. He's the type of person, he's sneaky. He do things meticulously. Everything he says or does, or what he doesn't say or do, it's for a reason. And now you see why people don't like him.
Yeah, so they get booed.
I mean, was it the ligaments' fault that Brian Daboll was trying to hurry up and get your ass up out of there because you got booed all to hell when Jackson Dart got hurt the first time? Was it the ligament? Was it the injury's fault? No, you weren't playing well. I don't want to hear anything about an injury after the fact. No, not after this stupid ass comment.
I've gone back and forth on Russ. So my argument has been Eli Manning getting in opens the door for a lot of guys. I still hold to that. I think Russ is going to take probably a few years. I think he kind of slides in one year. I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if he never made it. I'll say that. But I think he slides in 1 year, maybe when the ballot isn't like stacked necessarily. Because he does have Super Bowl wins. He's been pretty successful career-wise. This kind of stuff doesn't help him for sure, but I think he gets in. I don't know. I'm pretty sure we did an episode. We compared him to Eli Manning, and his numbers are literally up there with Eli Manning, if not better. Yeah, I'm thinking like this. He gets in. He's not first ballot. He might be second or third, but he'll get in. They absolutely did. I mean, Richard Sherman was a burn for that reason because he's a part of that.
With his hating big nostril having ass.
Yes.
He can smell the whole world with that shit, but want to be a hater.
See? I told people, like, Eli Manning's getting in because he's a Manning, and he beat Tom Brady twice, even though it was Strahan, Justin Tuck, Kiwanuka, those guys who did it. But that's going to get Manning in. And I've said, you put Manning in, I don't want anybody telling me Matt Ryan's not a Hall of Famer. I don't want you telling me
Phillip Rivers isn't.
Exactly.
And his ass was close. And he wanted to do some shit for some health insurance. I mean, I get it. Because I was on the portal before I got my health insurance. And I saw some of the premiums. I'm like,
And them 10 kids running around made him get out the house and get that insurance again.
Mm-hmm.
Never heard no other athlete play himself out of the Hall of Fame.
I mean, Antonio Brown's behavior got himself out of the Hall of Fame. I don't think he getting in either. What has Matt Ryan done? We're not going to play with Matt Ryan.
Matt Ryan was an MVP. We are not going to play with
Matty Ice.
He was an MVP. So for a year, he was arguably the best player in football.
Topper, you know what? You get to take this victory lap about the Colts with me, because me and Topper were the main ones saying before it even happened that the Colts were pumpkins.
Man, Topper's taking that victory lap so much, his feet tired. Topper, we gave you credit.
Well, just like I'm always gonna be I'm always gonna be in a position to take a victory lap over the Ravens.
Okay, so 3-D is not feeling the Matt Ryan. Hold on.
Well, if Eli Manning gets in, Matt Ryan should get in.
That's exactly what I'm saying. So let me get this here. I'm gonna pull this up for you, 3-D. All right, here we go. Let me get that off of there really quickly. And do this.
It's raining, so I know Kobe finna go outside and act a fucking fool. Like, oh my God.
No, that's way too close. All right. Here's a head-to-head.
Say nothing.
Matt Ryan and Eli Manning. Eli Manning, 57,000 yards. Matt Ryan, 63,000 yards. Passing touchdowns, Eli's 366. Matt's 381. Eli 366. Eli 244 interceptions. Matt Ryan 183. Matt Ryan's a higher rating. Matt Ryan wasn't the most mobile, but he ran for more yards. I don't understand why they put fantasy points, whatever. Same amount of Pro Bowls. Matt Ryan was an All-Pro, MVP, and Offensive Player of the Year. Eli was none of those. And the Super Bowl MVPs were strictly because he's a Manning. He was not the MVP of either one of them. Matt Ryan, look. Trae Young, yes. Matt Ryan dealt with a lot of crap with the Falcons, too.
He sure did. Trae Young was top 3-and-D. Let's do this. Trae Young is a part of the problem in Atlanta. Matt Ryan was never the problem with the Falcons.
Yes.
That's the thing. Trae Young is the issue when it comes to roster construction because of how he plays and his style of play. He was the issue in Atlanta. They built around him, and it still failed because of him. Matt Ryan was not the issue until he got later in his career, and the arm strength started to fade. There's the two differences.
Well, I'll put Mike Vick too, since 3-and-D.
Most people will hold Matt Ryan and Mike Vick in a higher regard than Trae Damn Young, with some sense.
Yes. Oh, gotta do Michael Vick. My bad. Yeah, Russ made 10 Pro Bowls. Like, that's crazy. 28-3 does hurt Matt Ryan, but that was not even Matt Ryan either.
That wasn't Matt Ryan's fault. And we know that wasn't Matt Ryan's fault. That was Dan Quinn and Shannon Scam.
Yep.
And we know
Freeman missing the block. There was a lot that went into that game. I love trolling Falcons fans with it.
Eli won 2 Super Bowls off of a very good Giants defense. He didn't do anything to help that.
3-and-D, I'm giving you the numbers. Matt Ryan's been a better pro than Eli Manning across the board. So that's why I'm saying people acting like Eli Manning's this surefire Hall of Famer, you are opening the door for a lot of guys who people question. Matt Ryan was one of those. I never agreed with it, but you can let Eli in, you better put Matt Ryan in the Hall of Fame. And you better put Russell Wilson in too. 10 Pro Bowls is not easy.
No to Matt. It's because of the 28-3 thing. That wasn't his damn fault. All Shanahan had to do was stop being so cute and run the ball.
Well, Mo, I only put Vic up because 3-and-D said Mike Vick should get him before Matt Ryan.
And 3-and-D is on something that ain't weed. What are you talking about?
Look, Mike Vick probably isn't getting in. And like Mike Vick, look, he burned hot. When Mike Vick was doing his thing, he was the biggest name. He made all the highlights. He did all that. He's not going to be a Hall of Famer. Trae Young been a better pro than Ja. That's not.
Off the court.
Look, Ja's got some large flaws on the court. Look, if you told me I'm running a team, I have Trae Young or Ja Morant, I would probably take Trae Young. I wouldn't feel great about it, but I'll take him. Yeah, Mike Vick is not getting in.
Because when you say some crap that could be disproven, I'm going to fry you. Welcome to the grill.
Hey,
it's all love, though. It's all love, though. So
that's what we do on here. Look, we love when y'all do this. We could do this with y'all all night. We love it. Not blaming Ryan. I just couldn't believe what I was seeing. Yeah.
I was offended too, because I remember what I was doing that day. I was with my dad, Super Bowl Sunday. And when he left to take me home back to Covington, Georgia, it was 28-3. when he went back to Lawrenceville, man, I told you I woke up to the most ridiculous text message.
3D's kind of working my side. 3D's trying to knock down Jalen Brunson. Okay. Um,
Y'all know if y'all don't know how I feel about Brunson is I think he's a little overrated because he plays in New York.
Ditto.
He makes bad decisions. He's a very good player. I'm not undermining his talent. He's very good. Do I think the Knicks are going to win a championship with him? No.
That's my question. I don't know if he could win a title in New York as the best player.
Well,
that's kind of just
not
my
with Carl Zesty ass Towns being his second best, being his running mate.
Right. Yes. But that's kind of my working theory about undersized guards as your best player. I just don't have a lot of faith you're winning a title in this NBA. Because I say about Trae, I say about Jalen Brunson. I mean, I don't know if Donovan Mitchell necessarily counts as undersized, but I don't believe he can lead a team either. I think this era, it's wings that have to be your best player.
Yep.
And that's my only thing. Like, Brunson makes the Knicks relevant, and they're fine with that. Trae Young or Tyrese Halliburton? I'm getting Halliburton. Y'all saying Tyrese a lockdown defender. He's a winner with Kings. Now a different narrative. I would take Halliburton over Trae Young.
Halliburton got to a very good coach in Rick Carlisle,
who is underrated.
Trae Young got what's his face, Macmillan, and he got that man fired.
Yep.
And he was probably working
on Atlanta. Yeah, he's working on getting Quinn Snyder fired. That would have happened if they didn't move him. I think Quinn Snyder's a good coach. I think Nate McMillan's a good coach. Nate McMillan, for whatever reason, he can only last like 3 years anywhere. But Nate McMillan is a good coach.
Quinn Snyder's
now
a good
Mike
coach.
Woodson. I was not a fan of Mike Woodson, but
either.
And Budenholzer, wasn't a fan of him either.
Budenholzer had his place, and then once Budenholzer got stale, it was very obvious that he needed to go.
Mm-hmm.
He's had good coaches. I'm not listening to anything that Rasheed Wallace has to say.
Oh man,
there's that.
Rasheed is
Darius Miles, maybe. Rasheed Wallace, hell no.
Oh, those Rasheed Wallace Celtics years, man. They were something.
Him or Rashad McCants. Both of them pissed me off. I don't know which one pisses me off more. Probably McCants, because he said something.
It's got to be McCants. McCants lives in some la la land that I don't know.
He lives in Delulu town.
McCants swears, like McCants is that dude you'd run into at LA Fitness or the Y who'd be like, I'm going to tell y'all, I was like one ankle roll away from being a superstar. It's like, no, you weren't. You weren't good.
We watched you play.
Yeah.
And Kendrick Perkins. They pissed me off with that living in Delulu land. I'm like, do you not forget that I'm old enough to remember you playing?
I like Kmart, yeah.
I love Kmart. Me too. Kenyon Martin be the only one trying to speak sense to him.
Mm-hmm.
The only Kmart that I really like, y'all gotta watch how to use these nicknames, because I refer to Kimberly Martin as Kmart and Kenyon Martin as Kenyon.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, they do call Kimberly Martin Kmart. I mean, McCants needs to be studied. We're missing an opportunity there.
He sure did. He sure did. Because Kendrick Perkins said that stupid ass comment, and 3 weeks later, she's like, I'm out.
Oh, man.
I need ibuprofen when you can have a perk. Get your ass on.
what be killing me is they'll show these highlights. Like they're showing the Thunder's highlight with Durant. And Perk was like in frame and he's like, check me out. I was like, Perk, you were just setting a block. Like, calm
We
down.
were literally setting the screen. What are you doing?
Oh, Brandon Jennings. Oh, I cannot
Oh my
stand
God.
him when he started talking. Ugh.
Brandon Jennings, I'm like, every time he talks, I'm like, this is why you were Shaq in MVP.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly why.
I actually liked Brandon Jennings when he first got to the league. I thought he was going to be really good.
Then he started being known for stupid stuff more than his actual production on the court.
Brandon Jennings on the Bucks. I was a fan.
He was on Shaq's radar every other week.
Well,
But Shaq is a bully.
Shaq has his grudges. I mean, used to bully JaVale McGee to a pulp.
Yeah, until both
had us feeling sorry for JaVale.
Of course, I dealing with Gilbert, and I'm like, I wouldn't. Lexi dealt with it a lot longer than I would have.
Mm-hmm.
Now I want to go back to this comment that Mo said earlier about Russ. He said that Russ had some LeBron in him, and I'm like, I'm so glad people are starting to see that. The way Russ acts is the exact same way LeBron acts. That pretentious bullshit.
Well, I mean, there's a few. Yeah, Alex Rodriguez was like that. Alex Rodriguez had this persona that he was like the perfect baseball player, the nicest guy, and
we all know.
I think once the steroid stuff came out, they were like, oh, okay, so maybe he's a little sketchier, and then I think New York kind of turned on him. But there's always, like, every sport has that guy that's seen as this perfect guy on and off the floor, and then you find out one little thing about him, and yes, good point. Yeah, Brandon Jennings, I thought, because Nick Van Exel, I was a fan of his too, and Brandon Jennings did remind me of him.
Shaq hates anybody who ain't him. Well, you know what? Celebrities do that crap all the time. Why do y'all pass around the same 15 to 20 women?
Well, the thing was, like, Jeter's list of exes is like one of those that's like Hall of Fame to a lot of guys, because he dated a lot of like actresses and stuff. A-Rod, I think A-Rod's biggest relationship was
J-Lo.
I was about to say he was with J-Lo at one point. Like, that was the big one that kind of set him on some like pop culture stage, but he couldn't touch Jeter. "2013 Russ." Oh, that's talking about the LeBron comment. Yeah, Mariah Carey was, which Mariah Carey has some interesting relationships as well.
That reminded me that Kim Kardashian and Chris Humphries got married and then got divorced like 80 days later. That shit was hilarious. I'm like, y'all couldn't last like 3 months. Y'all couldn't even last 6 months.
Mm-hmm. Jalen Green, prime example for that statement.
Mo, I actually agree with that. I actually believe that, because he
I mean, yes, he could never admit that. Same one getting child support from Matt Liner. Okay, there's another name haven't heard in a while. But let's get into the playoffs, because we obviously have to talk about that before we do get out of here. So here's the current bracket. We will go through the games here shortly. We'll give you some little notes that we have on the game, make a prediction. You all can make predictions as well in the chat. But NFC got Sijin Seahawks as the number 1 seed, so they got the bye. We have Rams Panthers is the 4-5 game. Bears Packers 2-7. Eagles Niners 3-6. AFC Denver got the bye. They're the number 1 seed. Jacksonville Buffalo is the 3-6 game. New England Chargers 2-7 game. Pittsburgh Houston the 4-5 game. Matt Leinart and Blake Griffin paying. Oh yeah, I remember that story. And Blake Griffin's on TV showing he's got no rhythm. First game, Panthers Rams. Of all the games this weekend, this one has the largest spread. I believe the last I saw, the Rams were 10.5 point favorites. We know the Panthers won the NFC South thanks to the Falcons, which I'm sure Falcons fans feel important because they did that. They won the division from the Bucs team, who had a historic slide at the end of the season. It will be Bryce Young and a lot of other guys on the Panthers' first dip into the playoff pool. Seidman's already thrown out there the Rams. Jory, I'm going to guess, do you agree with Seidman? If you think the Panthers could win it, what do the Panthers have to do to win this matchup where they seem like such a large underdog?
Be consistent because they already beat this team.
Mm-hmm.
You already beat them. So just know that they're going to come out swinging because they're going to be trying to make up for that loss.
Do you think they could pull it off?
Do I want to be delusional?
I mean, like you said, they beat them earlier. So if you pick them, that's not necessarily delusional because you've seen them do it. It's just whether or not they could, I guess, copy the script. Because, I mean, that game, they did turn over the Rams 3 times, which absolutely helped, Carolina get that win for sure. Yes, Adams is coming back. I mean, we'll have to see, obviously, once he gets out on the field, how the hamstring is. But, yes, he is back. Seidman says no, but.
Come back to me on that.
Okay. Well, I will take the Rams. I do think, Stafford as a MVP candidate, Puka Nacua, getting Devontae Adams back, I should say, does help Puka Nacua a lot. I think the biggest challenge is going to be the Rams are one of the best offenses in scoring in the league. Carolina isn't. So Carolina is going to have to keep this game low scoring, make it a possession battle, because obviously with all the attention the Rams are getting, if the Panthers can keep it close as a one-score type of game late, more and more pressure will be put on the Rams, and maybe the Panthers, who have moments this year, played up to their competition and surprised a couple of teams, they could do it. I'm picking the Rams, but I kind of worry about that spread and might be inclined to say the Panthers probably cover, but the Rams get the win. Seidman's praying for the Rams to lose. No, Seidman picked the Rams to win. I'll give him that. It would have been easy for him to pick the Rams.
I'm going to pick the Panthers.
Feed Ted McMillan? Okay. So you're going to pick the Panthers? All right.
Even though I know that the Rams are the better team, but
hey, she's locked it in. Going Panthers. Hey, anything can happen.
My gut is telling me Panthers. Now, whether or not my gut is full of crap, we'll find out this weekend.
But look, the way they're going to do it, they're going to have to force at least a turnover or two. Hope like Rico and Chuba can, control clock and, like Tapa said, get Ted McMillan the ball somehow. and stay true to who they are, their identity. I think that's where a lot of these teams get in trouble. They go up against these teams with you know the odds against them, and they try to be something that they're not. Bryce Young, which I guess quick side note, hearing Steve and Nate talk about Bryce Young, like all he talked about was he's so small, he's so small. Yes, Bryce Young looks tiny, but you give Bryce Young time, you give him windows, he can carve you up. As long as the stage isn't too bright for him, I mean that would be a big factor in this game. But I just think Carolina's happy to be here. It's a good season for them despite the losing record. I just think the Rams get it done. I have a question for you though, because a lot of people are looking at the Panthers and talking about these division leaders below 500 hosting playoff games. Are you a fan of it, or do you think it should change?
Stop all that damn crime. Win your fucking division and stop all this bullshit.
There you go. Plain and simple.
Win your division.
I'm the same way. If Carolina is that bad, the Rams are basically getting a bye week then.
Exactly.
You take your win and you move on. There you go, Sajin. It's the fight in the man, not the size. There you go.
Yeah, because Bryce can make throws at 5'9" that Tua ass can't at 6'1".
Yep. Carolina could use a quick start. Like, get the first score of the game. Throw the first punch at the Rams. Give yourselves a chance. Yeah, I agree. Like, because I'm not plugging my own thing, but I did do an episode about it. There's been like 4 instances with, lower seeded teams with better records going to division winners like that. And for the most part, those teams were 2-2 wild card weekend. I don't think any of them won divisional round, but it's 50-50. So I don't think it's that big of a deal.
Win your division if it's that big of a deal.
Yes. So
win your division.
I mean, I would hope the Rams don't look at it as, some reason to gripe about. Like, just go in, beat the Panthers, and then wait and see who your next opponent is. Plain and simple.
Because the Rams had plenty of opportunity to win their division. Who did they lose to? Didn't they lose to Seattle twice?
I remember at least one. Well, Sajin could tell us, but I think Seattle swept the Rams, I think.
Win your division.
Yeah, because wasn't the Rams' divisional record not that good? I think the Niners beat them too. Once, okay. So they split with the Seahawks. Okay. Oh, that's right, because they won the game when Darnold had the 4 picks, and it came down to the field goal at the end. Yeah, I remember now. Which that told me a lot about Seattle, even in a loss. Okay, so you have the Panthers. I have the Rams. Saturday night. Packers. Not gonna lie, this is a game I'm looking forward to. Packers Bears round 3. Ben Johnson before the season said he was going to feel good sweeping the Packers. They split the regular season series. We now get game 3 where it's almost a flip of early in the season where a lot of people were on the Packers bandwagon. I was one of them. The Packers ended the season a little bit turbulent, and the Bears have kind of propelled themselves to the point where people can kind of convince themselves to the Bears being potentially a Super Bowl type team because of Ben Johnson, the growth we've seen in Caleb Williams, their ability to kind of play smash mouth football when they need to. But when you look at this matchup, like I said, third time, divisional opponents on wildcard weekend, you can kind of throw the regular season out the window because it's always tough. Who do you see with the advantage in this one? And maybe what's the thing? Okay, so what's the thing that the Packers are going to do that you're looking for in them beating the Bears?
One, they're going to test that defense. The Bears defense, if they don't turn you over, they're not that good. Tapa, that's the wrong form of losing, but I'll take it.
I just got the Bears. Okay.
I don't think Caleb. I'm still not a Caleb Williams person.
Okay.
So do I think that this game might be too big of a moment? Yes, because it's playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
I just think that the Packers are gonna. The Packers and Bears games are always tight, but I think the Packers are gonna pull this out based off the experience.
Okay.
They know how to pull off the football. The Bears don't.
Packers are a talented team. Packers are a team that if they get it clicking, they are scary.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I know you say you're not a fan of Caleb. Caleb has grown a little on me. I think the one thing Green Bay has to worry about, well, be fearful of, contain Caleb Williams. Because Caleb Williams has all of a sudden kind of become kind of those off-schedule quarterbacks, and that's where he kind of thrives. So if he starts scrambling all around, running like 5 yards backwards and then coming forward to the line of scrimmage,
keep his ass in the pocket, and the Packers.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's going to be the Packers need to do that because Caleb's not afraid to run. He'll get you key first downs, and like I said, he'll play scramble drill and find some receivers downfield. I say keep him in the pocket, force him to be a pocket passer. That might have been a little easier if Micah was still around, but I agree. I'm taking the Packers. I don't want to necessarily, go against what I see the potential in Green Bay. All that Tucker Kraft injury definitely hurt Green Bay this season. Yes, Caleb has improved. I will agree with that. And I guess we got to thank Ben Johnson for that. And the O-line. They did improve the O-line because Chicago finally figured out, hey, a decent O-line can get you places. Yeah, that's what I'm like. They have to be disciplined with their pass rush because Caleb is not afraid to run it. And I think weather is going to be an issue in this game as well. So it may come down to running the ball. And both rush defenses are, I think the Packers is middle of the road. The Bears rush defense is actually bottom third. So Josh Jacobs could be a factor. Darnell Wright was a good pickup, yes. I think the Bears are on the right track. But I agree. I think the Packers are the more talented team, despite their record. All right, first game on Sunday. So remember, you get 2 Saturday, 3 Sunday, 1 Monday. So Sunday, 1 o'clock, we get Jags-Bills. And I'm not going to lie, I feel like the more I think about this one might be the most intriguing game for me. Because I'll be paying attention to see if Trevor Lawrence has turned the corner, if Liam Cohen finally got into him and he's playing better. Josh Allen, it's how bad is the foot injury that he did miss last week's game for? And how is he going to rise up with the pressure of nobody from the big four being in his way? No Mahomes, Burrow, or Lamar. Plus, Josh Allen as a Bill is winless on the road in the playoffs. So the games in Jacksonville, can Josh Allen get his first road playoff win? So with all that factored in, and Jory, we know you paid attention to the Jags because they are in your division.
I hate them.
I know you do. You hate their Chester Cheetah Jaguar mascot.
I hate their colors. I hate their mascot. I hate the stadium. I like the city. I hate their quarterback. I hate their coach. Josh Hines Allen is overrated. They shouldn't have drafted Travis Hunter. Do I need to go into a long list of hating statements?
So I guess we're assuming you're taking the Bills here.
Exactly.
Okay. All right, so I guess I'll pose it this way. Even though you don't like the Jags, What is it? So since you're picking the Bills, what's the thing about the Jags that scares you about your pick for the Bills?
Nothing.
Okay. Love the confidence. I love it. I mean, I do. I love the
Because if
conviction.
the Jaguars don't turn you over, their defense is no good too.
So that's why I brought it up, because Josh Allen's kind of gotten a little careless with the ball a little bit more this year than last year, when we gave him a lot of credit for cutting down on the turnovers. He did have some issues with it again this year. But
his decision making needs to be better.
Okay. All right. So, look, I like the Bills as well. The thing that is going to be interesting, James Cook is, I don't know where you put him. He's a top 5 running back in the league. Some might say top 3. I don't know. The Bills have the number 1 rushing offense. Would you like to guess who the best defense is against the run? Jacksonville.
Not really.
So,
and that's just because of stats.
Well,
Like,
I just did it off of yards per game. There's like other metrics to it, but I didn't want to dive into that. I just went simple with it. Rushing yards per game against.
Eye test tell me that run defense is not that good.
Well, okay. So, like I said, just using that number.
Topper, I hate all of them.
Oh, you really? Yeah.
I hate all of them. Actually, I hate the Ravens more than all 3.
There you go. So I think it's going to be interesting to see if Jacksonville can contain James Cook, who's a really good running back. And you also have to factor in Josh Allen into the running game as well. And then the other thing is, the Bills have the number 4 scoring offense. The Jags have the number 6 scoring offense. So this game could literally just turn into a shootout. And maybe it turns into that game where, remember when Josh Allen went at it with Patrick Mahomes and Mahomes won it in the last 13 seconds. It could be another one of those games. Just saying. But I got the Bills as well.
Back to that comment. Topper, the Colts are annoying. The Texans are Temu Titans. And the Jaguars just got here.
Well, we'll get to that game and we'll see.
That's exactly my pick.
Jags for an upset, but I love the city of Buffalo in the winter. Buffalo is a nice city in the winter. I've been up there.
It's too cold for me up there.
They'll pay you to shovel the stadium.
It's too cold up from it's way too cold up there for me. I was born south of the Mason-Dixon line, so anything under 55 is freezing.
Trust me, I understand. If somebody grew up in Boston and then moved down here, I was out like in shorts and it's like 55 out. You got people down here in winter coats, and I was losing my mind. I thought I was the crazy one.
Yeah.
I was like, am I okay? But yeah, I definitely understand it. All right, so we go without the Bills. This is another game. Kind of intrigues me. 2 fan bases that cannot stand each other. They hate each other with a passion, and I love it. We have the 49ers with Brock Purdy, who I feel like up until week 18, the Niners kind of flew under the radar, and then we looked up and it was like, oh, they're playing against Seattle for a chance at the number 1 seed. The Eagles have been the soap opera of the NFL, whether it's, Sirianni in the celebration against the Bills when they had like 15 yards in the second half and people were like, this guy's a clown, to the offseason where everybody was questioning whether or not Jalen Hurts is good. We had the trade deadline rumors with A.J. Brown. We've had the O-line play in Philly kind of slip a little bit. But the Eagles' defense is really good. That's the one thing that's been constant. And the 49ers have to go against the Eagles' defense. That's top 10 in pass defense and scoring defense. Only saying that because the Niners, we know, CMC is a big part of their offense. He leads them in rushing yards and passing yards. So for that Eagles defense, you figure they'll key in on CMC and make Brock Purdy beat them. And then Topper brings up a very good point. Can Kevin Patullo pull off the greatest upset ever and come up with a game plan that looks good.
No.
That man, if they lose this game or if they win this game like 9-6, that man better clean up his desk and just walk out. Because Eagles fans are already ready to curse him if they lose in the playoffs. So, with all that, who are you taking in this matchup?
The Eagles.
I feel like Cy just speaks for all of us. Conflicted, give me the Eagles.
Exactly.
Okay. And look, the Niners, like I said, good year. Robert Sala's going to get himself coaching interviews because of the job he's done with the defense. But you and I have talked about when they were coming at Jalen Hurts in the offseason. The one attribute that Jalen Hurts has going for him, the man is a winner. I don't care how it looks. He just knows how to win in the postseason. And that's all that matters. Win in advance, stay alive, win in advance. All right, so we both have the Eagles. Sunday night, the Battle of Tens. Herbert, Drake May. You get Jim Harbaugh, Mike Vrabel. You get Chargers team that's dealt with injuries. I mean, Herbert's playing with a broken left hand. Drake May first playoff start, so that does have to factor into, I guess, how well he could look. He could be too hopped up on adrenaline and overthrow. But, I mean, Mike Vrabel better than most. This is kind of Vrabel's time to shine, too.
Patriots by 10.
Battle of the Tens, you're taking the Patriots by 10. Okay. That man might need security walking in his car. Yeah, if they lose to the Niners, probably leave your friends or coworkers who are Eagles fans. Leave them alone for a couple of days.
Leave them alone. If they lose, I promise you I won't be in the wire-to-wire chat until Wednesday.
Yeah, Eagles fans will be beside themselves. I agree. I'm gonna take my Patriots for sure. When I look at the Chargers, the one thing that does scare me, I like the Chargers' secondary defense. They get after it, and that would be my one worry. Because May at times can have turnover issues, which he has fixed a lot of them. But that would be the one thing. A couple of turnovers would make it that the Chargers stay in this game. And Herbert's a guy who flies under the radar for his limited postseason success because we focus so much on Josh Allen and Lamar and Trevor Lawrence to an extent. Herbert kind of needs a playoff moment too.
Top up, but I have more faith in that Patriots defense than the Chargers offensive line. I do know a couple of those pieces.
Mm-hmm.
They don't need to. I get that's how the primary way people think you can generate sacks, but Harold Landry, he's going to give you at least a sack and a half.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, that's what they brought Landry for. And Landry was doing that before he got kind of nicked up, but he's missed a couple of weeks and he's back. Also, they missed Milton Williams for a few weeks. And Milton Williams kind of unlocks Christian Barmore, who gets after the passer up the middle. The O-line, they're getting Will Campbell back. When Will Campbell went out, the offensive line did take a dip, but I'm not saying they're a great group, but they are better. And with Will Campbell's there, they're a better group for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the Chargers defense would be my worry more so than the offense, unless if they kind of get careless and let Herbert just sit back there. Because Herbert is talented. It's just that playoffs for whatever reason. Yeah, I don't even think he has a playoff win. No, he's 0-2 in the playoffs. So.
No. Well, you would have had one had Brandon Staley not stayed.
Yeah. I mean, that's the game we're going to remember him for until he gets a playoff win. the blown lead to the Jacksonville Jags. Now his other playoff game, he threw like 4 picks to the Texans. So yeah. But like I said, I think Herbert's talented. It's just he's got to show it in the postseason. Monday night. We already know your answer to this one, but we get Old Man Rodgers. Is this his final ride? And we get C.J. Stroud, who, much like the quarterbacks in the AFC, limited postseason success or just limited postseason appearances just in general. This is going to be Aaron Rodgers versus that vaulted defense in Houston. And then we can kind of look at it the other way. Houston's offensive line versus T.J. Watt, Cam Hayward, and the front seven of Pittsburgh. So you've already taken Pittsburgh. And I guess you want to throw out there how much you have Pittsburgh winning by? You think it's a close game? Or do you think Houston maybe just has trouble scoring? Because we have seen that with that offensive line this year.
Either 3 or 7. It's one of the two. I don't know which one I'm going to pick, but it's either 3 or 7. Because the main problem I have with Houston, I love me some D'Amico Ryans. He's a Bama boy.
Mm-hmm.
However, this team is undisciplined. They're undisciplined. I'm sorry. When you have somebody like Azeez Al-Shaair being your Walter Payton Man of the Year that can just randomly do some dirty shit,
mm-hmm.
I don't trust them. The defense can give you a penalty. The offense, it struggles. It struggled all year.
Topper gave you a stat you can hold over their head. Houston has to make an AFC Championship game. They're the only team in the division not to.
They stole half my defense, and they haven't made an AFC Championship game with it. Damn, Temu Titans, fuck out of here.
And yes, Steelers haven't won a playoff game since 2017.
Pittsburgh by 3.
Okay. So I guess we're going to get another Tomlin face cam time. That moment still makes me laugh. That's the end of the Harbaugh era, was Mike Tomlin blowing a kiss to the camera. Oh, man. Good times. I'm actually taking Houston in this one. I don't feel confident in it, but I just think the defense is going to frustrate Aaron Rodgers. I think they'll do better than Baltimore did. Baltimore let this man scramble for 20 yards on a key third down, which Aaron Rodgers don't want to be doing that. After that play, Aaron Rodgers probably needed oxygen, but Aaron Rodgers is playing well right now. I got to give him credit for that. I think getting DK Metcalf back will help. I just don't know if they're going to be able to put together enough scoring drives against Houston's defense. And I think C.J. Stroud, it's a talented group on that side of the ball. It's just the O-line does scare me. So if they can keep T.J. Watt out of C.J. Stroud's pocket, I think they'll be fine. And I also think Texans are a team that could either look terrible and lose this game or could make the AFC title game this year. They're that boomer bust for me. They are a difficult team to predict for me, their playoff journey, but I have them beating the Texans. I don't give a damn
what the Texans do. They lost all my respect when they tried to put that powder blue on them ugly-ass uniforms. Those are not your colors.
So, Tapa, you know why she doesn't like the Texans. Because the Texans have been trying to claim the Houston Oilers, even though it's a lot. Yeah.
All they had to do was build Bud Adams a damn stadium.
Mm-hmm.
And now the Oilers. Shut the fuck up.
Tomlin has the longest leash. So the thing is, though, here's the weird part. He hasn't had a playoff win since 2017. But every year since then, he's overachieved and kept that over 500 streak alive, which is probably why he's kept his job.
When was the last time he had a viable quarterback? When was the last time Tomlin had a viable quarterback? That's why his leash so long.
And some of it, I think, to some people, especially those Steelers fans who probably want him gone, it's like, does Tomlin not have a say in that? Like, and look, Tomlin did bring in Arthur Smith. And you don't like Arthur Smith. I don't like Arthur Smith.
Mm-hmm.
I think at some point people are like asking, like, how much of this is Tomlin and why does he keep making these mistakes?
Right.
DK is going to give away the game again. He better be on his best behavior.
If he don't, then Aziz Al-Shaair will.
That might be what it comes down to. Which one of those two makes the dumbest play? Pat can be a problem. Pat who? What, Freiermuth? I mean, I like Freiermuth. Although it seems like some games they don't really be looking for him. Finished watching my Thunder get an improbable win. Who did the Thunder beat?
Don't talk about improbable wins when y'all been smacking putting BTA to teams all season. Be quiet.
I guess just notification, Indiana has beaten Oregon 56-22. So now the question, Dante Moore, do you want to go ahead and become a Jet probably or stay in school? Which homeboy, what's his name? The dude from Ole Miss tried to get his 6th year eligibility and NCAA told him no. So Trinidad Chambliss, yeah. I don't know if he's going to be a high pick, but I guess he's going to have to join the draft.
Half y'all's guys being out, y'all should have still beat Memphis. You kind of should have won by more.
I mean, Tapa only hates the Colts. Honestly, do you know how annoying Colts fans were during?
Colts fans in check during that Andrew Luck era because, well, actually, no, we
didn't. They were pretty cocky during the Andrew Luck era.
It happened right after, and that's when we started with our crap.
They were down 21 on the road. Hey,
give me a break.
Enjoy the win. Enjoy the win.
Putting BTA on everybody all year. Now it's an improbable win.
What? Everybody's now claiming the Spurs are the Thunder kryptonite. That's the claim running around the NBA circles. I would say, do it in the postseason.
Exactly.
Yes, she hates all of it. I mean, that's how the divisions work. I'll say for the AFC East, like, I hate the Jets. The Dolphins are kind of irrelevant, but I don't like them either. I respect the Bills, but I will say, during this little stretch when the Bills are winning the division year after year, they were getting on my nerves.
You know it.
And look where we are now. Back where we belong atop the AFC East.
No, if there's anybody's downfall that I enjoyed, it was the Colts.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I loved it going from 8-2 to 8-3 to 8-4. I loved it. Yeah. I'm like, they really finna end this season on a 9-game losing streak, on a 7-game losing streak.
Yes. But I will say, I mean, look, I don't like the Colts either. They're the whole Deflategate thing, which I'm not going to get into, but I have hated them since then. Now, I hated them before that. What am I talking about? I hated them back when Peyton Manning was there.
Exactly.
And they cried because Ty Law and them were beating up his wide receivers and he couldn't find anybody, and they got the whole thing changed. I hated them since then. Look, for whatever reason, the Colts are like media darlings to some people. I don't know why, but so many people in the media love the Colts.
The Colts. Boo that damn horseshoe and put another banner up there that's not a Super Bowl banner. Please do it. Whoever is up there.
The only thing I probably like, look, I feel like the Colts mascot is.
He's the best thing.
He's Bear. He's yeah. I can handle him. Other than that, I can't stand him. Old Man Rivers. Yep. I mean, That man had that granddad bod. Them shoulder pads were looking like
They looked a little chunky.
look, it was fun for a couple of weeks.
I bet he get comeback player of the year.
I wouldn't hate it. Like I would laugh. He'll probably go up there with some dadgummit or something like that, and yeah. I used to love when he was mic'd up because you could tell he wanted to swear so much, but he just went old country on him.
I need to be a little bit more like Phillip Rivers.
Noodle arm. I mean, the man's 40 something. All right. Look, it was hilarious because when he first came back, they talked to Vrabel about it. Like, have you thought about coming back? He was like, no, nobody wants to see that.
I gotta go find that.
Yeah. Vrabel's had his moments with the media. That's when I was like, yeah, that's when you need to retire again. They're on like midfield and they're looking to throw a Hail Mary and they put Riley Leonard in. I was like, oh man, Phillip can't even throw it 50 yards? No, Favre can stay home. I don't need that. Favre can, no.
No, Favre needs to be in prison.
Favre will come back and throw like 6 picks, and they'll be like, "Oh, he's a gunslinger." No, he has bad decision making. Thunder owned the city of Memphis. Last 3 times they played, they made a comeback. Well, Memphis has some issues. I mean, Memphis, look, they had their big 3: Ja Morant, Desmond Bane, Triple J, and they're going to be down to Triple J here in a couple of weeks, and I wouldn't be surprised if they don't move him soon. All right. Well, actually, before we get into Final Burn, since it's right before the playoffs start, do you have a Super Bowl prediction?
No.
Okay. I mean,
we can do that next week.
Okay. We'll do that. The person out on TV. Yeah. Yeah, you could tell Phillip knew, like, when he was mic'd up or near a microphone. Yeah, he was real careful. Just haven't been to the playoffs since the Rex and Ryan era. Yeah. Look, they keep messing around long enough. A lot of their fan base won't even remember that.
JEST, Jets.
Oh, man. Fireman Ed. I used to hate that guy. I just wanted Brady one time to just throw a football up there at him. Knock him back a little bit. Final burn. Actually, I'll probably go since you have a lot of people you want to get to. Actually, I'll let you go. Yeah, you can go.
Go ahead and go. Because when I go, I'm gonna set this roof on fire.
Okay. So my final burn, I didn't do a graphic for it because I didn't want to put this man's picture on a graphic. Huh?
Waste resources on the Whitlock?
Yeah. So I'm going at Jason Whitlock. And as I was sitting here before the show, more clips came up on my feed for whatever reason. I feel like my phone is trying to set me off. And the man is just deep diving into the land of stupidity. So I have seen clips from this week alone where Jason Whitlock has called Carly Ursay some feminist agenda plant by the NFL to cut back on the masculinity. I was like, this man out here is playing a fool right now. So he sits there and claims that she popped up out of nowhere and took over the team, like she's not Jim Irsay's daughter, like she didn't inherit the team and all that. And the fact that he's taken this reach out on that tiny branch to say it's this bigger agenda to cut masculinity, it kind of speaks to how weak of a man he is, number one. Number two, ESPN hates them and knows it wants to give birth. Oh, God, that's what he made him skip out. I mean, you would think people would be okay with that. Like, yeah, I knew what you meant. 3-and-D. Jermaine Jackson again. Yeah, okay. I don't understand why they have an issue with that. Like, I felt like that's something people want to hear. We like seeing athletes who are upfront with their religious beliefs and all that. But that's neither here nor there. But yeah. So Whitlock trashed Carly Ursay, which we have seen him trash usually black women, but now he's just going at women in general. And he's basically making it seem like she's unqualified because she's a woman. That's because she's a woman, and the NFL is supposed to be a man's space. Literally, how he phrased his whole little rant. So I was like, okay, that's burn worthy enough right there.
Well, he's not a man. He's a bitch. He's not a man. He's a bitch.
Yes, there you go.
You got too much money to be drinking E and J. Your ass can get his ass can get no Douce, no Hennessy, no.
He don't have that ESPN money anymore. He could
have got us some Jack Daniels.
Maybe they're not sponsoring him. I don't know. Yeah, so I kept watching. Another clip came across. This man on the free internet said, there's no black excellence in the NFL because the standard when you hire a black coach is lowered because they don't have any standards themselves. I was like, this man is
this fat nigga don't got no fucking standards.
I was like, this man is fucking killing me. I was like, most of the times I can't find a final burn. Jason Whitlock might literally turn into my final burn every week because he pointed out Dion, he talked about Mike Tomlin, and then he spun that into once again lowering standards. And then that got me thinking, because we know how Whitlock leans politically. They like to say politics and sports don't mix. That same side loves to talk about DEI and all this kind of stuff. And that was a very much against DEI kind of rant, even though they don't even know what DEI stands for. But that's neither here nor there. Not going to dive into the political aspect of it. So I was like, 2, that's got to be enough. Then he couldn't help himself again.
I'm actually hold on, pause. I'm not going to let Topper get away with this bullshit here.
Okay.
Joy did that shit on her own. Whitlock was sideways when he kept going on there, talking crazy, talking disrespectful, saying that she comparing her to peanut butter and doing all this other bullshit. Yeah. That shit is disrespectful for no fucking reason. But you want to sit here and say he was right? He wasn't right in nan way about Joy. Nan. Like, let's not do that. He was not right for disrespecting Joy in any type of manner. Not right. Joy did that shit on her own. And she took her loss on her own.
Yeah. And look, that whole thing, Fox Sports or whatever, it was a mess. We talked about it when they were going through it. 3&D, look, it's kind of crazy because Whitlock at ESPN used to annoy people because he would insert race into every story from the black angle of it. And then now he's swung to the complete other side where he is just trashing black people left and right. And the third one where he went was he kind of went back to the lack of masculinity in the NFL. And he's talking about like now the athletes are acting more feminine. He was like, they're all tatted up. They wear hairstyles that are feminine looking. And the image was like a dude with braids. And I was like, braids are feminine now? Like, what?
He had braids with his bald-headed ass.
But it's just like the kind of reaches he's taking because he's trying to keep that fan base that he, jumped to that side because it was profitable for him. I'm going to need him to just hang it up. Look, he's not on a major network, so he's doing it all on his own. The man is so out of touch, and it's annoying to watch him speak about this stuff like he's, enlightening or anything like that. All he does is damage and prove every day why we are perfectly fine never hearing from him on a major network. Because I watched those 3 clips and I was like, this man is just deep diving into the BS. To sit here and talk about lack of black excellence because of lowered standards. What standard? Oh, okay. The other part I forgot. He said, when people say that black head coaches have it harder than white coaches, that's dead wrong. It's just because, black coaches don't have standards. And I'm just like,
he don't have standards for the food that he put in his damn mouth.
Yes. Oh, look, I mean, keep reminding me about the weight. He threw Queen Latifah into it, and I was like,
because he talked about Queen Latifah the hell alone.
But because he keeps talking about how they're trying to replace masculinity with feminism and all this kind of stuff. He's like, Denzel Washington is the equalizer, but they use Queen Latifah on the TV show, and we're supposed to believe that he threw it like 250-pound self was doing all these, martial arts and stuff. And I was just like,
go look at what Audi Crooks did, dumbass flip-flop. And just because that scandal came out and he said he was talking crap before that scandal came out does not mean he was right to disrespect and come at Joy for no fucking reason. He was not right. You were wrong for that.
Yeah.
You're wrong for that. And he used that shit to attack her for no fucking reason. 3D.
That is true. Chris Broussard did used to wear two
rags on ESPN. He was speaking on a situation and trying to attack her. I wasn't born in 99 or 2000. I was born in 2001. 2 weeks after the Ravens won a Super Bowl. That's why I hate them.
Right. But yeah, I mean, this is basically the overarching point is the Whitlock just says this for the engagement and the clicks from that side of the country that, hates Colin Kaepernick with a passion. They hated the bubble with the social media stuff social justice stuff on the jerseys, like all that, they can keep that. But that's all I wanted to say. I just find it hilarious what he's doing just to try to stay relevant.
All right. Let me go into my little spiel.
Yes. Floor is yours.
Yeah, I was 7 months old when 9/11 happened. I was getting the bath. I came out the room hating that damn team, and it's not gonna change. What are you doing?
They got Derrick Henry. That pamper. They got Derrick Henry. They couldn't even make you like them a little bit more.
No, because they done turned him into a hoe. All right. Anyway, so I have a lot to say.
Mm-hmm.
To the Speakeasy crew, when I say Speakeasy, if you don't know, a lot of people wouldn't because don't nobody watching them. I only pay attention to them when they come up on my Twitter. On my Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
The Speakeasy crew have been working my nerve. They have been working my nerve. Hey, Trajan.
What's up, Trajan?
Y'all some weird ass ninjas. Like, come on. Y'all weird. Y'all shady. And you, I don't, here's the thing. I don't agree with Cam Newton's stance on Drake May. I don't. Mm-hmm. But I'm not finna sit here and just come talking out the ass saying, I don't know if Cam Newton is better than Drake May. You know damn well right now, maybe not next year. As of right now, Cam has had the better career. Yes, it is about that hot, stupid shit he put on his head. And then gonna sit on here on his damn internet talking about, I have an afro. The next time
that's the part that kills me.
You
like, we can see the side of your head. There's no way that's turning into an afro, buddy. Like, calm down. Just embrace that you out here looking like a fool. He said
Jermaine Jackson actually said he had an afro. I'm like, are you delusional?
He's put it through a hat. That's all he's done.
He throws on a hat on it. Cut it off. It looks like you look like a homeless person with that hair looking like that.
Which Whitlock did actually put Cam on his images. He's like, that's an unprofessional look. Well, he's on ESPN, so.
Well, Whitlock is Whitlock looking like the Michelin Man is unprofessional, but he can shut the hell up disrespectfully.
Well, I was just gonna say, Trajan, yeah, we both picked the Packers to win.
As far like I don't agree with Cam's take about Drake May.
Mm-hmm.
But I understand his point? Yes, because I would rather have a game manager to win me a Super Bowl than a game changer that can get me to a divisional round and that's it. Or that can't win me where it matters.
I do push back on that one. It's hard to be a game manager and have like the best completion percentage on deep balls. That's my only thing.
I don't even agree with that. Like I don't agree with him on that. I think Drake May is more than a game manager. But if we're going to call this man a game manager, I'd rather have a game manager that can actually throw the damn ball than an athletic quarterback who can't do shit in the playoffs. Mm-hmm. Cough, cough.
Yes.
Like, I get it. But for Shady to go out there and go on this long-winded trash-ass rant, Cam is a hater. Cam is a hater. I've come to the conclusion that Cam Newton is a hater. He hates on anybody who is younger than him that looks better than him. He's a hater.
I agree with that, Topper. It's not actually a bad thing. It's just people use it in a negative sense. But if you
discredit people.
Yeah, if you hear what people say when they say game manager, it's literally like it's like the system quarterback. They like system quarterback is like, oh my God, I'm not a system quarterback. Every team runs a system. So I agree, it's not a bad thing. It's just people use it like it's a bad thing.
She distracted me because I can't stand the sound of her damn licking.
Oh, I guess. I mean, you're talking about Cam being bitter about anybody who's...
He's a hater.
Yeah.
He hates on Jalen Hurts. He's been hating on Drake May. He's a hater. We're there. Shady is an idiot.
Yeah. That's also true. He thinks he's the best running back the Eagles have ever had.
He's not even a Philly person. He's an Andy Reid person. And for him last week to sit here and say, take me out the Hall of Fame, who the fuck are you? Like, dead ass. Because you never won a Super Bowl in Philadelphia. You won yours with Andy Reid. So, respectfully, who are you? And I know his stats.
Mm-hmm.
I know what he's done. He's an idiot. He's the main reason why people are so comfortable calling Dak Prescott ass in public.
Yeah.
Like, I like Rachel.
Yeah, I usually didn't have a problem with Rachel.
Right. They both know nothing. Next, we're getting into one of Michael's brothers that he need to come and get. Come get your brother, Michael. Come get him. Because something ain't right in the head. Something is not right in the head. Like, why we see you look like a black Teletubby. Why?
That is what he looked like. I can try to figure it out. Yes.
Why are you on the camera talking to me, saying that you have an afro? Like, I can't see that spray paint painted on top of your head with that little toupee of hair on the top. It's an afro. Say something like that again, and I think your kids, they need to put you in a home.
It was him like touching the side of his head, like, see, it's an afro. I was like, you're touching your scalp.
You're touching scalp. This. Wait a minute. See, I really wasn't finna be on camera because my camera quality ain't all that. But this is an afro. This is an afro.
Well, you might have the cover on.
Or did it freeze? This shit
Hmm.
froze.
Well, I mean, no, we saw your hair last week. Yeah, you have a legit fro. Sergeant's coming at me again. All right.
Jermaine got caterpillars on his eyebrows.
Mm-hmm.
They're all weird. They're all a little off. I like Janet though. Janet is my girl. And every time I see Jermaine Jackson, I just get pissed off. Because I'm like, you look like you took a black plastic trash bag and melted it and poured it on top of your head.
Isn't the toy the one that became like the psychic or something?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, y'all know where they came from. So is it surprise that they look thrown off? I'm being quiet about that because I got somebody who's from there in the house.
Right. Yeah.
Down the hall. Actually went to school with some of his brothers before she moved down here.
Okay. I'm sure she's got stories.
Next, Ocho. Ocho.
Ralia.
I need you to go to regular school, not the schools that are in Florida. Sorry, Tapa. So you can learn how to pronounce Riley.
She was so over that.
Sciatica.
The Shannon with his close enough. All right, you got
Riley. Sorry, Topple, but Ocho done made y'all look terrible with this one. You not finna sit here and look at this word Raleigh and say no damn Ralia. Like, I understand you like the joke and everything, but I really question whether or not, sometimes I question whether or not he's actually illiterate. Because it was that. Y'all don't sound like that. I done been to Florida enough times to know y'all don't put no A at the no in the no word like that. So is it also a part of your accent to mistake sciatica for cicadas? And that man started drinking on live yesterday. I'm like, wait a minute. And he took it straight to the chest. I'm like, you gonna grow a hair, but okay. I got one from taking what was it? Was it Casamigos? Yes, we're talking about ultra illiterate Cinco.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that pissed me off. If y'all know, my mother taught me grammar. She taught me phonetics. She taught me how to speak. She taught me how to read. So when I see the letters in front of me, and the sounds that come out of your mouth aren't matching the letters that I see, I'm gonna get mad. Because where are you getting this from? That makes me mad, and the word hurted. That sets me off irrationally. I should not let one word just set me off that bad, but hurted pissed me off.
Mm-hmm.
If people who can't use the word sense right. And that's a shot too.
Yes. I mean, look, your mom taught you how to read. I'm old enough where I had to use hooked on phonics.
I had a textbook. I had a notebook.
Yeah.
She had me in my workbooks in preschool.
Mm-hmm.
And to back from one dumbass Bengal to these two idiots here. Now, to Jamar Chase and Zach Taylor. Why are we crying? I'm fighting for my life. Motherfucker, you should have been fighting for it a long time ago. They stopped the game because he got a sack record. They do that for any time you break a record. They're going to pause a couple of times so you can celebrate. I read the dictionary. What, pecan?
I'm one of those Northerners that never understood the right way to say it.
Because if you sit here telling me pecan, I'm going to slap you.
I've been down here long enough, I think I'd say pecan. I don't even know how I used to say it. Maybe it was always pecan. But I used to go crazy over that. Like, pick one pronunciation. See, Mo gets it. I used to never know which one was the right one.
I was taught pecan.
Okay.
Yeah, my granny, she taught me pecan. What's another one that also pisses me off? That's a colloquialism. Pop.
You just dropped colloquialism just casually in conversation. Okay.
Pop. When I first went up there and I started really noticing stuff, I'm like, what the hell is a pop? Where I'm from, it's soda.
Wait, pop isn't the Southern thing?
No. Only people from the North say pop.
Wait a minute. I always called it soda. Oh, you know what? My grandmother did say pop. I used to laugh. Well, yeah. Yeah, I never caught on to that. I always called it soda. I thought pop was a Southern thing. I was completely wrong then. Okay.
Yeah, but Jamar Chase and Zach Taylor and their sensitivities. Look, I understand that you're emotional because you've been eliminated since week 2, but
hey, the Bengals are my sneaky pick to win that division.
Go up to Chicago and say some soda, and they're gonna look at you crazy. Oh, you better ask for a great pop.
Well, I guess I'm not going to Chicago then. I know I'd get myself in trouble with that.
I'm kidding, but Skip. It's
been a while.
It's been a while. But who the hell are you to sit here and say kickers are non-football players? You didn't kick shit.
Like Skip
You didn't
wouldn't have
kick a
been a kicker
ball.
if he
You
was a
averaged
football
2
player.
points a game in high school. You didn't do nothing. Who are you to sit here and say non-football playing position like a kicker? They still be having to lay the wood. Old ass man. Go get treated for dementia. See? My family lives in Indiana, and Nap, and Gary, and everywhere else. Chicago's really not that bad. You just got to know where you go. It's not that bad as people make it seem like.
That's what I've heard. I worked with somebody who was from there. They said, it's much better than you think.
Don't believe the media propaganda. Chicago's a great city.
That was a classic moment.
It was hilarious. But you don't get to sit here and say who determines who's a football player and who's not, because you never played football, you dumb twig. Like, come on now. All because Tyler Luke missed a kick. Shut your old ass up. All right. And Borgs, look, I got on you earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Rein that in. Rein it in.
Right.
Where's your pamper? Hey, Puda.
Yes, Skip is very biased.
Very biased. I'm finna put on another pamper on you. Give me a second. Give me like 5 minutes. Let me end this up. You can't sit in my lap and you don't have that on. Borgs. Jason Garrett should not be getting consideration for head coaching jobs. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
He should not. And the fact that you even decided to even consider this man for an interview is ridiculous. And get it together. Do not make this head coach search more stressful than it already is. Get it together.
I mean, as you were saying that, I did look up like the Titans or whatever, and Cam Ward said, I know you've been a big proponent of Cam Ward being a part of this. He wants a player-friendly coach, which, okay. Then I saw a story from Yahoo Sports where this writer, I'll tell you their name, Mike Patton. So I'm assuming he's probably a Titans fan.
My friend.
Mike Patton?
Yes.
So Mike Patton says if he was running the coaching search, this is what he would do. I want to get your thoughts on it. He would hire Robert Saleh as the head coach and hire Mike McDaniel as the offensive coordinator.
I wouldn't be mad at that.
Okay. He said that would be the best thing for the Titans to do.
That is my friend.
Okay, well, look, I guess he can continue to be your friend because you agree.
And Michael Strahan, listen. Like, listen, Linda, listen. It's almost 12 o'clock. I'm getting a little silly, so excuse me.
Yeah, I will say we did go a little bit longer, but look, we're having a lot of fun with y'all.
You listen here, Gap Band Strahan. You are a hater. Nothing but a hater. Why are you mad that Myles Garrett took one more game? Thank you.
That's the point right there.
I
Like he
bet
has
a
nothing
whole
to
bunch
say.
of spit just flew out of his mouth as soon as he was starting spewing that BS in between them teeth. Like, you can't just say, I'm happy for you. Congratulations. You know, sir, records are meant to be broken.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry he had an extra day. But if you played in an era where there was still 16 games. Like, I'm happy he didn't break it against my squad because we schemed up against it.
Yeah.
Um, Puda, you finna get off of me. Um, she's doing this because she's sleepy.
See, get a new microphone. Bella, try and get in on it.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of stuff this week that kind of pissed me off. But just them and people who think that Nick Saban's coming out of retirement to coach the Baltimore Ravens, go to hell.
Oh man. So not even that would make you like them a little bit more.
What?
If Saban was like, "Hey, I'm going to coach Baltimore."
No. I was born an op and I'm gonna be an op.
Yeah, Stephen A. trying to beef with Garrett Wilson, which, all right, Stephen A.
People don't respect Stephen A because he does stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Neither can we, Side.
You can make a point. You can make a point without being disrespectful to the people to organizations that people play for and owe some type of loyalty to.
Mm-hmm.
You can do that.
Zach Taylor's going crazy. Hey, Zach Taylor still has a job. Shout out to him.
And he shouldn't.
I mean, he shouldn't.
And he really shouldn't.
Imagine that, Baltimore. You had to fire Harbaugh and Zach Taylor still coaching the Bengals.
Mm-hmm.
Good times. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yep. Stephen A. backed away from that real quick.
He needs his ass whooped. He needs his ass kicked.
Mm-hmm. But you know, he's under the assumption that nobody's ever going to do it. So, because he's Stephen A. He made First Take. He made this. Like, okay.
You made sports media the hellhole that it is. Congratulations. Whoop-de-fucking-do.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, there's plenty to go around for reasons to not to like Stephen A. right now. Okay. I mean, look, you definitely had a lot to burn, and yeah, that's a long list.
Do better next time, next week, everybody. Do better. I should not have to go leave a show and then 2 hours later find something else for next week. Let's do better this week.
Yes. Lakers, Cowboys, and Chiefs. Yep. All right. Well, let me remove that. So yeah, like I said, longer episode than we normally do, but we definitely loved the energy that you guys had in the chat. So we went a little bit longer because we were just having too much fun. Like I said,
I lost track of time.
I actually did too. Like we do that on here. One day we'll get better with it. I don't know.
No.
So let's have one more. I'm just gonna say.
Have one more. Hey, don't get me agreeing with Kyle. We're not gonna do this.
I'm just saying. So let's have one more.
For now.
Yeah, when Tatum comes back and we got another one.
No, that's not how that works. And then the Lakers get get LeBron stupid ass James off my team, and then we win one with Luca,
Hey, we'll see what
and then we'll
happens.
be tied again.
We'll see. We'll see. Um, but yeah, so like I said, we were down key tonight. Hopefully, she'll be back on next week. But we appreciate all of you. Make sure you go ahead and like the Wire to Wire Network channel, subscribe to check out all the good, all the other great shows, I should say, that are on the network. See, tomorrow, Saturday, you'll have Coast to Coast tomorrow. They'll get you caught up with the Indiana, Oregon stuff, get you squared away for the national championship game, which will be Indiana versus Miami. If you had that before the playoffs started, go play the lottery because you're probably on a hot streak. So they'll talk about that. There will be a special edition of Sideline to Sideline tomorrow after Coast to Coast, before the first playoff game, where go over the playoff matchups and everything like that. So tomorrow, you got a lot to check out before the playoffs get underway, and then you already know the schedule: Monday through Friday, Coffee and Sports. I'm back on the ball on Monday, and yeah, you'll see it in the outro. All the shows on the network. So for myself and Jory, hold on, Jory, you got anything you want to add before we get out of here?
A new episode of Joy Sports Stories this weekend, and the first episode of Colors of Change will be out this weekend.
There you go. I did do a couple episodes of Chomping at the Bit this week. I have a couple of more coming out, hopefully like in the morning. But yeah, so check out Jory Sports Stories. You can check out Chomping at the Bit if you want to hear more from me. But yeah, other than that, enjoy the weekend full of games. We'll be back here next week to talk about it all. You have to find out who makes Final Burn next week. But until then, see you all later. All right, bye.